My God, we got a lot to talk about. Today, we're going to have Mike Clemens coming up here in about 15, 20 minutes. Mike's going to join us live in Green Bay. You got the game last night, and Carter, what the hell are you thinking? Spitting on the quarterback. First of all, the one thing you do in the National Football League is protect the quarterback like nobody's business, but then spit in the face of Dak Prescott. Now, I think we've all wanted to do that at some point or another. He didn't really spit in his face. He kind of loogied on his shirt. But we've all wanted to do that at one point or another to a Cowboy. I can understand it. But you don't do it in front of the official. So we'll get into that discussion last night. If you're a Cowboys fan today, how you feeling? Because I got an opinion on that. If you're an Eagles fan today, how you feeling? We're going to give you our predictions today regarding the NFL. Not to the games, but I'm talking division winners, playoff winners, NFC and AFC championship games, and Super Bowl winners. We're going to get into all of that today. The Brewers, they need the series. They need this one coming up. Going to get into that. So you have that going on. You've got Badger football coming up tomorrow. And today we are live at Stenny's. And, you know, Stenny's has been with me now for 25 years. Great friends, great sponsors, both down here at their, what I've always called like the Cheers of Milwaukee. I've been here thousands of times and spent a lot of time in Tomahawk. Jerry Stenny, who owns the place, he's got a house up north. And the Tomahawk Fall Ride, we have had a lot of great times, both here in the bar and spent time as friends and hanging out and on motorcycle rides and stuff. They're great people. But for a bar of any type, bar restaurant to be open for 5 years is an accomplishment. For 10 years, kudos. But for 40 years is amazing. It is amazing. And they have been a staple down here in Milwaukee for a long, long time. And we're going to talk with Jerry a little bit later on about, you know, back in the day. And They opened when I graduated high school and went off to college in 1985. 1985. So, Grant, if we have any 1985 music today, we should play that all day today, just because I'm feeling a little nostalgic. And that's a little bit of my era, to be perfectly honest with you. But 1985 is when they opened. So they have, and I'm going to post it here in a little bit, but they have the block party is a block party. They've shut down the entire block. About 150 yards long and the width of a street plus parking lots wide. They've got a massive stage on one end and a massive tent on the other, which is the beer tent and the hangout tent and the party tent. A little bit breezy and windy and cool today. You've got blues and jazz today with you've got the Big Al Doran Band and then Third Coast Blues Collective with special guests coming up tonight from 8 to 11. Then tomorrow, another one at 1 o'clock. Almighty Vinyl takes the stage at 5. And then Cherry Pie rocking the freaking house tomorrow night. This place will be absolutely jammed. Then Sunday, they've got Natty Nation. Then they got J.D. Rankin and the Solomon Royals here today or here tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I should say. And then they have a huge Packer party, indoor, outdoor watch party for the Packers. Going to be taking place down here on Sunday as well. So a whole weekend to celebrate their 40th anniversary, and they are giving away a brand new Harley-Davidson Pan American, which is the e-bike. But if you're looking for a brand new Harley-Davidson and you think, I might want to go down, have a great time, have some fun, eat up some of the award-winning Bloody Marys and the wings and the Bill Michaels garlic cheese bread, and then, oh, by the way, you could win a Harley, that is the way to spend the weekend. So we're down here for all of that as well. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You can hit us up if you choose to do so. Again, 877-867-1670. You can text us, 608-321-1670. Text us there, 608-321-1670. You can watch on YouTube. You can watch all of this. I have cameras up inside here. We're also going to post some stuff over on social media coming up in a little bit on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can find us there under the Bill Michaels Show. You can track us down on LinkedIn. You can see us on the Twitch app, on the Kick app as well. You can find us on Twitter, on X, at Bill_Michaels, at Bill_Michaels. Find Grant at Wisco, WISEO at Wisco Grant. We are a television show on Saturday nights, My 24 TV in Milwaukee, on My 24 TV in Milwaukee, 8 o'clock Central Time. You can catch the television program. You can email the program, thebillmichaels@gmail.com. The website simply thebillmichaels.com, and take us anywhere and everywhere on the Wisco Sports Zone app, the Wisco Sports Zone app. There you go, Wisco Sports Zone app. There you have it. Grant Bills, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Not as good as you. I'm happy for you getting to hang out at Stenny's and happy for Stenny celebrating a big anniversary. You referenced 1985 off the top of your mind. Do you know the number one Billboard single of 1985? I'm looking at the chart right now. I was curious.
The number one? No.
I'm sure it varies on which chart you look at.
85 was the 80s were a crazy time with different music. So you had Michael Jackson just skyrocketed. Madonna skyrocketed.
Madonna's number 2 for reference.
Okay, so you had all of that. That was like Rick Springfield with Jesse's Girl, and then you just had such an eclectic mix. You had, Wild Wild West was you had a bunch of dance tunes, and clubs were really big back then. So I know Tone Loc was huge. Bobby Brown was huge. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
It would be Careless Whisper by Wham, which would be kind of a provocative song to come back from break, I suppose, if we mixed that in today. But no, I'm not. Now I'm looking at the song. So this is when Stenny's would have opened, right? This is the anniversary, 1985.
Right. Wow. Yeah, 1985 was when they opened. Yeah, 1985. Yeah, crazy. Wham. I remember Wham because
there's a lot of Wham on here, actually.
Because out of Wham came others that struck it big, because Wham was the boy band, and then they all started to part ways, and then, they ended up going into solo careers, and they were big in their own right. So, but yeah, so it was Wham, huh? And you had Springsteen was big. If you go to the rock side of things, I mean, there was, Born in the USA and Dancing in the Dark, and you go with all of those, and yeah, it was crazy.
Freem's guy, Kevin Cronin, and REO Speedwagon all over this chart.
Yep, absolutely. There was big stuff yeah. So it's crazy. So it was a really, because you still had super groups. You still had the Stones, you still had Rush, you still had Queen, you still had super groups. You had AC/DC, you still had REO Speedwagon and Styx, and you had those big arena rock bands. And then you had hair bands. Remember, you had the metal. You had the Motley Crues of the world and the Twisted Sisters of the world, which were huge at the time. And then you got into rap was becoming big. And, Asia, Twisted Sisters, I had mentioned, Skinny Says. But, yeah, you look – and a lot of those bands are still touring today. So just musically speaking, it was a very eclectic mix of music, and music began to change. And that was because in the 90s, it then became individual synthesized. And I think, honestly, I think music became, I can't say it on the air, I think music became crap in the mid-90s and on, because it was so synthesized. There weren't bands anymore. There weren't people that played instruments. It was the boy bands and the girl bands and the dancing and all that stuff, and it wasn't bands. It was people that could sing and entertain, but it wasn't people that actually played music. And everything began to veer away from all of that. I mean, you look at Annie Lennox, and I mean, the Eurythmics and such, they had a different, sound to them. God, you start to think about all the different music and the way it changed. But the 80s is when it really changed, because that's when computers started to really become big and synthesized music started to really become big. So anyway, there was the Cars, there was Van Halen. I love the Cars. The Cars remind me to this day, every time I hear a Cars tune, I had a Chevy Nova, was my first car. I had a Chevy Nova in high school. Straight six, 3-speed on the floor. That thing was badass. I ended up putting a Holly 4-baler on it, had a blower in it, the whole thing. And I'd go to Zantigo's before practice, get out of high school. Zantigo's was across the street, and then get to Zantigo's, eat, go back over to practice. You go practice, and then after that, you're on your way home. Go home, get your homework done, get back up the next day, and come back in. So, yeah. Oh, there's little cars in the background. That's the drive, right?
Do you ever just drive around at this late at night and just stare at your windshield and just ponder?
Yeah.
Wonder.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one. Good.
When I graduated, and then when I was in between, because I packed because I had scholarships and such my junior year. It's a long story, but I got pissed at the politics of high school football and high school sports, and I quit everything. Pissed off the coaches, I quit everything, and I had nowhere to go. So I drove up to Columbus, and that's how I ended up walking in and just saying, hey, I'm here. And then I had to explain why I did what I did. But I graduated high school, and I remember when you say that, my mom and dad, we graduated at Music Hall. It's a huge music auditorium, big theater in Cincinnati, and that's where our graduation was, because we had, I think, 1,400 students at the time to graduate. So anyway, long story short, we graduate. My buddies and I, we go out for a little bit, and then my buddies went, back to their homes. And I just started driving around. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. It suddenly hit you that there is no tomorrow. You don't have to get up for school. You don't have to get up for work. You don't have to eat nothing. I wasn't doing anything at the time. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? I feel like I was in like an abyss. I felt like I threw everything away out of spite because I was pissed off at the world. Now, I had my daughter when I was 18. So I had my daughter, and I know I got to do something. And I'm like, I just got to get better. And I was driving around listening to this stuff. So that's what I was doing. I was driving around listening to the Cars. I was driving around listening to Asia. I was listening to the Hooters. I was listening. I mean, that's what I did, So it's just weird that you say that. So yeah, that's when suddenly my life decision was, I got to go home. I got to pack all my stuff up, and I got to go figure my life out. So I did. I told my mom and dad. I said, I'm going to I told my mom and dad I was taking a trip, and they're like, well, where are you going? You don't have any money. I said, I got about $600-700 saved, and I drove to Columbus, Ohio. And so I'm like, here we go. And I walked in Coach Bruce's office, and he knew who I was because we had visited, and he said, what the hell happened to you? And I told him the story, and that was the rest is history. So anyway, but yeah, when you say that, it's amazing how music brings back powerful memories. So rather than waxing nostalgic about 1985, even though we're here for the block party, last night, if you're a Cowboys fan, do you feel better today or worse today? Had you had Micah Parsons, he might have made a difference in that game last night. Then again, if CeeDee Lamb makes 1 of 3 catches, they probably win that game. But do you feel better or worse? Because if I'm a Cowboys fan today, I actually think I feel pretty good. Everybody picked you to get blown out. By the way, Grant, I think you and I won that when we made our picks on the huddle the other night. You and I won last night, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I said Philadelphia's going to win, but the Cowboys are going to cover.
I mostly just opening night. You just very rarely see blowouts in that game. Right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the NFL has like control over some part of the universe, but those games are never bad. They always seemingly come down to the wire.
It was an exciting game to a certain extent, but it was somewhat uneventful. Jalen Hurts looked as good as he could possibly look. He looked like he is. Everything he went through last year, winning a championship, like he's now emerged. Like now, again, it's one game. I'm not going to completely throw hyperbole out there and overreact all this. But he looked about as good as he could look last night. And, I give Kenny Clark was in on a sack last night. He showed and contributed. They stymied Saquon Barkley last night. The problem was they had no answer when they kept Jalen Hurts in the pocket. They had no answer for him because once he escaped the pocket, there was nobody could track him down. Otherwise, they had to figure out a way to win that game.
The thing that I kept thinking watching Jalen Hurts last night is that's what they missed with Jordan Love last year. And that's what Jordan Love needs to do more of. When nobody's open and the play is broken down, scramble for 8 yards. It doesn't have to be 20, 30-yard runs. Go get a free 8 yards when the defense is giving it to you. That's what I kept thinking last night.
And then the storm came, and I have to admit, at that point, I was done.
You checked out?
I was out, yeah. I was out. The lightning, and they showed it, and I'm like, they're going to call this thing. And they said, sure enough, we're going to go take everybody to the locker room, get underneath the stadium and blah, blah, blah. And I woke up at like 4:30 this morning in complete darkness, and that was pretty much it. So anyway, but we'll talk about that. We got Mike Clemens coming up next. Mike Clemens, we're going to go live to Green Bay. He is going to tell us what's going on up there. Yesterday, when we left Mike, which, by the way, Micah Parsons spoke yesterday. So we're going to hear Mike talk about that. And when we left yesterday, remember, Jaden Reed was not practicing, but he was throwing on the sideline, catching some balls, moving around a little bit. We're going to get an update on all of that. So all kinds of good stuff coming up. Stay tuned. We got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. We are broadcasting live down here at Stenny's, 2nd and National in Walker's Point. It is their 40th anniversary block party. The doors open up here in about 45 minutes, but really everything gets underway later this afternoon at about 4 o'clock. And then all throughout the weekend, they have events all weekend long. This portion of it brought to you by our good friends over there at Dwayne's, DUANES, Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com. That's Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com. And if you're looking for upholstery work, vinyl work, something out in front of your business like an awning or something to that effect, boat covers, you name it, he can do it. And the boat cover that he made for my boat is absolutely freaking amazing. Amazing. And no, absolutely zero worries this year about leaving this thing outside during the winter months. Winterize it, leave it outside. That cover is absolutely positively fantastic. He did a great job on that. He can do a great job on yours if you're getting ready to store yours for the winter, or, like I said, office furniture, gym equipment, awnings, you name it. Go to Dwayne's, DUANES, Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com. That's Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoke. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
With burnouts in the bar.
The touchbacks now come out to the 35-yard
Unsportsmanlike
line.
conduct. Defense number 98. Number 98's defense actions has disqualified him from the game.
Whoa.
15-yard penalty.
Whoa. So Jaylen Carter, the focus and the star for the Eagles on the front line, out for the game before snap. Here he goes. He walks there in front of Dak Prescott. Did he spit? Did he spit on him? I think he did. And the official was right there to throw the flag, who was keeping an eye on that confrontation. No idea, obviously, what was said, but Jaylen Carter out of this game before a snap. Chris, first of all, I got no idea what he's thinking. And second, this is massive in terms of the game.
I got to tell you, he's the best player they have on their defense. And about 80% of what we were going to talk about on this broadcast, because to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to double team Jaylen Carter. And it's almost like Micah Parsons now gone from the Cowboys. Same impact now with Jaylen Carter gone.
Welcome back to the program. Bill Michaels Show, we are live at Stenny's, second to National Walker's Point. If you were watching the live stream during the commercial break, yeah, they're driving motorcycles inside the bar and doing a burnout, actually, which is pretty funny down here at Stenny's. Again, second to National Walker's Point. If you want to come down, it's their 40th anniversary celebration, and it is going to happen all weekend long. The doors open up at 11. Music gets underway at 4. They got big bands down here tomorrow as well, and a huge Packer watch party down here on Sunday. We now go live to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where it's always a party. They're getting ready for a big party on Sunday. Mike Clemens is brought to you by the Bay Motel in Green Bay. The Bay Motel, quiet, cozy, comfortable, just a mile from Lambeau Field. And you can always stop in and say hello and maybe see Mike over there at one point or another. But they also have the Bay Family Restaurant, which is home-style cooking 7 days a week. And if you want to go up there and check it out, go to baymotelgreenbay.com. That is baymotelgreenbay.com, or call them direct, 920-494-3441, 920-494-3441. There you have it. Let's go live to Green Bay. Mike Clemens is standing by. Michael, how you doing, pal?
Good, and hello to everybody, Ryan and everybody at Stenny's. Happy anniversary to those guys. So the NFL season kicks off last night with a spit fest.
Right?
How about that?
How can you just get suckered into that and be that stupid?
So here it is. It's the Cowboys, and they're looking to try and see, Jerry Jones is trying to prove I can still stop the run game of Saquon Barkley and the Eagles with this new guy we've added, Kenny Clark, 30-year-old in the big trade from Micah Parsons. You heard, even Chris there talk about, how big an impact Micah Parsons not being there for the Cowboys might have in that game. And Jaylen Carter, the first-round pick that Howie Roseman took, it was one of the reasons that they won the Super Bowl. That when you and I were covering the last Super Bowl in New Orleans, I told you, man, I've been trying all week. I don't want to talk about the guys, walking away from that fatal car accident down in Georgia. I just want to learn about this kid as a player, and they hit him all week long. They claimed that he had a cold. He was at that opening night, but he didn't really talk to anybody. That's because they were afraid he was going to say something dumb, or he'd have to take all those questions over that controversy. So this game just gets started. They have the opening kickoff. Cowboys are going to receive. A player gets injured on the kickoff. So there's this injury timeout. The Cowboys are standing there in their huddle, and then you see 98 from the Eagles, Jaylen Carter, 314 pounds, 6'5", walk over and spit on Dak Prescott, this big loogie that goes on there. And, you heard Tirico there watch the replay like, oh, my God, did he spit on him? And right in front of the referees who throw the flag and suspend him from the game before there's even a first play. At the end of the game last night, Bill, Jason Garrett, the former Cowboy coach who now works for NBC, he caught up with Dak, his former quarterback, he's walking off the field, saying, what was that all about? And Dak told him what happened. And Jason, radioed up to the booth at NBC. And man, those guys, they got cameras everywhere. They caught it. So they went back to what led up to that. And you see Dak Prescott in his huddle during injury timeout. He's looking over the shoulders of his offensive lineman, and he needs to spit. So he fires a loogie over their shoulders that goes into the neutral area between the two huddles of the Eagles and the Cowboys. And Jaylen Carter, the defensive lineman, sees that. He comes over. They have some words, and he spits back at Prescott. Of course, that's the one the referees see, and that's how he gets ejected from the game. And that's how your NFL season started last night.
It was a wild night last night, without a doubt. And you're right. I mean, it's crazy that happened. And I just Jaylen Carter, you can't be that stupid. But I'll say this, Mike. All night, all they talked about was what was not there, and what was not there was Micah Parsons because he's in Green Bay.
Yeah. And Cowboys looked pretty good too. They held Saquon to 60 yards. Jalen Hurts had scored 2 touchdowns rushing with his feet for 62 yards. Eagles held on to win 24-20 after it also a 1-hour lightning delay in the third quarter. Lightning storms are over Philadelphia. But yesterday at this time, I called into the show to say, okay, so you have this epic trade, 2 picks, $108 million, $130 guaranteed to Micah Parsons. And then over the weekend, it's like, well, the guy really does have a back injury. And a lot of your listeners and fans are saying like, oh my God, did we make this epic mistake? This guy got chronic back pains or what? But J.J. Watt said, no, listen, getting painkillers before games, that's standard. Back injuries, all of us have got sore backs in the NFL. You see, you even see players walking out of the training room with the little suction cups all over their back after it happens to all these players. But no one had asked them, how did this happen? And I don't know why it hasn't been that way. But after practice, we got alerted, and Micah wanted to come and talk to us, so we took him out in the hallway, and there was a bunch of questions. So I found out the answer to this situation. Let's start with the back injury. When first he was asked, hey, how hungry are you to play week 1 for your new team Sunday against the Lions?
I'm so hungry. I want it all at once. But that's why you got coaches, and, I always been like that. I never been the type to say, I'm going to come back on seconds. I'm going to load the plate all at once. Like, I'm going to get everything I need in one meal. So that's just always been me since I was a kid. And, as players, all we know, like I said, I tell people all I know is go. So once I get an itch of competition, like I see the basketball courts all around the building, I'm like, guys, who wants some? Like, even though we got 3-4 minutes, who want to just shoot some hoops real quick? Like, that's just me. So I know once I get out there, I'm just going to want to go. And that was the first thing, they're just like, well, we got to see how your body is. We got to do that. Because at the same time, I do have to get healthy. I do have to do all those little things to make sure there's a longevity piece in this. It is 18 weeks. There is hopes for playoff run and a long playoff run. So we have to think about that and making sure that everything is good to go.
When did the back tightness start this summer? Like during your workouts, or did you feel it during?
Honestly, it started during camp. I did a lift, and I felt like during one of my lifts, I felt a tweak, and then I just think, standing on it, and I overused it, and that happens. So, it was a complete accident. There was multiple MRIs and opinions about how the injury can go. But like I said, I completed my medicine. I've been at treatment every day. And we've been attacking it and being aggressive to get me as healthy and as quick as possible.
You think you're going to have to do anything, take an injection or anything to play?
We're just going to see about that. Right? Like I said, right now, we just took the steroid pack that I got from the Cowboys last week, and we started that last week while I was getting treatment there. So we just started that. We finished the pack, and hopefully that works, plus treatment to get me back, to 100.
Mike, you hope that he's, going to be okay. And that thing, I don't know if it's going to get better as the season goes on. We'll have to wait and see. But the one guy that's got to at least be smiling is Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator, knowing that he'd already had a pretty good defense. He looked like, Edgerrin Cooper's going to emerge and Xavier McKinney, and all. You go through that list, and then all of a sudden you're told, oh, by the way, Christmas has come early. We got Micah Parsons.
So Brian Gutekunst, the GM, has got the idea. This is an opportunity. Maybe we could pull this off. So he brings in LaFleur and says to him, hey, what would you think if we went after Micah Parsons? And, LaFleur's like, yeah. And then LaFleur, he tipped off Jeff Hafley, the defense coordinator. Hey, Goody's going to make a run at it. You're okay with that? Like, sure, yeah, whatever. And then last Thursday afternoon, as the trade is going down, Matt LaFleur comes in with Micah Parsons on his cell phone and hands it to Hafley. Hafley was asked, how did you find out that the Packers actually pulled this off to trade for Micah Parsons and bring him to Green Bay?
When Matt came in my office with a big smile on his face, and he said he had someone on the phone. And I got a big smile on my face when I found out who it was.
What are the different ways you can use Micah on defense?
I'm not telling. Well, that's the thing, right? It's all of a sudden Micah Parsons walks in the building, and it's game week, and my mind starts going 100 miles an hour in all the ways that you can use him. You just got to be careful. And when he is able to go, I think we just need to gradually build into those and not rush into anything. I think it's important, like I've always said, to put your players in position to make plays. So as we get a feel for him and what he can do, I think we'll just continue to build and go from there. But to tell you right now, all the different ways that I can use him, one, I'm not going to do that. And two, I think we're going to evolve and figure it out as we do get going. But he's capable of doing a lot of different things. And I'm very excited that he's here.
Let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and kind of wrap things up with Mike for the next 15 minutes. But we're broadcasting live down here. Stenny, Second and National in Walker's Point. It is their 40th anniversary block party. Kicks off later on this afternoon. We're here today, and they open up the doors at 11. Already got a Bloody Mary this morning. The award-winning Bloody Mary. Oh, my God, are they fantastic. Stay tuned. We got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
This summer, your wishes take center stage at WishFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all summer for over $1 million in prizes and earn entries into the WishFest prize drawings on Friday, September 26th. Your entries from July, August, and September all count. Plus, 5 lucky winners will have their ultimate wish granted. Wish big, win big. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Certain stadiums and certain builds. Obviously, Lambeau Field is one of them. I think you guys have been so successful playing at Lambeau. Y'all won three in a row there. So why do you think this team elevates in those type of settings, especially on the road?
Man, we love Lambeau. I mean, it's awesome. That's one of those places on the 8th day the good Lord made Lambeau, and so we could go out there and play in it, first Super Bowl, Ice Bowl, the history it's got, and it's in the same location, it's been upgraded, all those, but man, it's got that deep history to it. It's the grass, man. It's the elements. It's just the mystique. It's awesome, man. If you love football, you love going to play there.
Those are the words of Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions, as they get ready to come into Lambeau Field and take on the Packers this weekend. 3:25 kickoff. We're going to be live over at Burkle's Sports Bar for the Green Gold Postgame Show after the fact. Mike Clemens joining us now in Green Bay. And Mike, Dan Campbell's had some success here recently.
Bill, this is not hype. This is a huge game. It's a huge, and the pressure's on Green Bay, I think, because you went 1-5 in your NFC North division last year. Because after a 25-year drought, the Lions coming here, Dan Campbell has completely turned around that franchise, its culture, and he's now won the last 3 times. Here at Lambeau, it's crazy. Now, you had a huge upset on that Thanksgiving Day in Detroit where, the Packers and Jordan Love shocked them. But, the Lions have dominated this division, and they're picked to be first again. And Matt LaFleur's got to turn that thing around, man. He's got to turn it around. One of the things that's helped this week is to see the offensive line come together for Green Bay. And although Elton Jenkins, though, still listed, is limited in practice. Now he's been dealing with a hip injury earlier in practice or in the camp. He had a back injury, but he's supposed to be your starting center. But, they got Adian Hutchinson back from the broken leg. He's just a beast on the left side. I think he's going to line up over Zach Tom. So, I got a chance to talk to Zach Tom, your right guard, or right tackle, who you signed a big deal with, about, hey, now that Micah Parsons is in the building, can he give you an advice on how you deal with the Lions defensive end, Adian Hutchinson?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like him and Hutchinson are like two different kind of rushers. I feel like Hutchinson's more speed to power. Micah's more like just straight speed, rip, finesse. So, I mean, I can ask him, but at the end of the day, like, they're not really the same player. So I'm just going to watch the film. I've already been up against Aiden, multiple times. So I feel like I kind of know what he wants to do. And obviously he's really good at what he does. So just got to use my fundamentals and block him.
When you look at this matchup, Mike, and you talk about these two teams and what they're kind of going up against, the left guard, Aaron Banks, I mean, they got to win in the trenches. The Packers wanted to get bigger. They moved Elton Jenkins to center. They bring in Banks. They wanted to get bigger and stronger, wanted to be able to run the football, keep that big, strong defense of Detroit off of them. And Aaron Banks missed a lot of the preseason because he was nicked up. So this is going to be the first time everybody's together. You wonder if there's going to be any hiccups,
Exactly. And Aaron Banks, who was also out with a back injury through much of camp. And, of course, they were working in those 7th and 8th offensive linemen, getting them reps as well. But Aaron made himself available yesterday. I got a chance to do a one-on-one with him. And, besides Hutchinson, and to me, I think that the opportunity for Green Bay's offense, and they have got to score early in this game and watch the turnovers if they're going to hang on to Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown and that crowd over there, is to score more points earlier in the game. So you're talking to Aaron Banks, and I said, has there been an emphasis, because they talked about this last year, where Josh Jacobs, you give him the ball and he gets through, but there wasn't the good blocking downfield at the second and third level against the linebackers, against the safety. And I said to him, is a run game with Josh Jacobs, is that going to feature more inside runs this year over outside zone?
Part of our run game. So, you got times where you got to go get a linebacker. You got to go get a linebacker, and you got to win. And that's just, the standard we're going to uphold ourselves to. And we're just going to block to the best of our ability, whatever run they call. We think any play can be an explosive as long as we are aggressive and attacking it right and all together. It's a phrase, 5 fingers versus 1 fist. 1 fist is a lot stronger than 5 fingers. So as long as we stay together and communicate and play as one, I think, doesn't matter what it's called. We think any play can be productive for us.
Mike, I really like the fact that the Packers did what they did this offseason, obviously, but it really is, to me, it's all going to hinge on whether or not they are able to, one, keep Jordan Love upright, injury-free, how he plays. But again, I go back to this line and what they did to protect him and to be able to give Josh Jacobs space. You've got, Rasheed Walker, who was out a lot of this preseason as well. But it feels like, Mike, depth-wise, you got a little more depth up front here with this offensive line than maybe what they had last year.
Yeah, so I think it'll definitely be Rasheed Walker, who started the last 2 years after the Bakhtiari era, to be your left tackle. And then that new guy you just heard from, Aaron Banks, he'll be the left guard. Elton Jenkins over the ball at center. If Elton can't go, then they would move over Sean Ryan from right guard over to center like they did during the preseason. You've got Jordan Morgan as a backup offensive lineman. Zach Tom holding down the right tackle position. But I was kind of joking around with Aaron Banks a little bit. He's a smart guy. I said, Luke Butkus, your offensive line coach, I hear him with all these nicknames for guys. Like Rasheed Walker, he calls, instead of Sheed, he calls him Sheeto. Hey, Sheeto. And he's got this other O's. I said, does he call you Aaron O, or has he got a nickname for you?
No O at the end of my name. I'm just Banks. Big Banks.
I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've always. It's funny. We got AB, Anthony Belton. which I've been called AB my whole life. So hearing that, sometimes my ears pop up. And then we got Brant Banks, who, they call Banks sometimes. So, I'm looking when they call his name. And, that's AB. Brant is Brixie, and I'm Banks. So.
Get your head on a swivel.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm like, is he talking to me? I'm like, okay. Because sometimes he'll call me AB, and I'm like, is he talking to me or is he talking to Anthony? But no, it's all good.
Mike, let me ask you this. When it comes to that offensive line playing together for the first time fully, how do you think, I guess there has to be a familiarity back there with Josh Jacobs for as far as running the football, because we know that they're going to lean heavily on the run, and the less they have to use Jordan Love, the better, or at least when they do use him, then he becomes a weapon when he can use his legs now a little bit more this season, and obviously when he gets into passing situations. But they're really going to rely heavily on that run game and Josh Jacobs.
And I've been talking about this since the middle of training camp when we went down to Indianapolis to cover those joint practices. And it's like, okay, maybe we're finally going to see the run game get going here. Is Emmanuel Wilson going to be okay to back up Josh Jacobs and, the offensive line? Except, Jordan Love couldn't play because of the thumb injury and the surgery. So was Malik Willis at quarterback. So Josh Jacobs, God bless him. You know how open and direct he is. I asked him, have you had enough reps now this week with the first team offense all together, with all those injuries you did during camp, to feel like you're ready for Sunday?
Yeah, I do think that the beginning of last week was a little weird because we had guys starting to, come back and practice. But one thing that I will say, that a lot of guys that were out has played a lot of ball here. So it's like after that day or two, you could tell, Wicks, Jay Reed making plays all day today. So I think we'll be all right. Just as long as, their conditioning stuff is up to par, I think we'll be fine.
Let's do this. We're going to we got one more that we want to do, Mike, or are we going to take a quick break?
Let's
do one more here before we
take
a break.
And did you hear what he said there? I told you that Dontavian Wicks has, coming back from the calf injury, he's been, after practice taking. So he just said there yesterday, hey, Jaden Reed with the foot injury, Dontavian, they're taking some reps out there. So who knows? Anything could happen on Sunday.
Let's do this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk more with Mike, and I want to delve a little bit deeper into that, and we're going to hear from Matt LaFleur as well. Stay tuned. We got broadcasting live down at Stenny, 2nd and National in Walker's Point. It's their 40th anniversary. All weekend long. The block party gets underway later on this afternoon. The doors open up at 11. Stop on by and say hi. We got more with Mike Clemens coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You know, I think anytime you're going against a team who has, a really good offense and also a good defense, it's paramount. You got to start off with a hot start, put some points up, because if you get behind, an offense like that, you got to be putting up points in a hurry to keep up with them. So, they're a good team. We know who they are. We know what they're all about.
Huey Lewis in the news going back to 1985, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Won Grand Bills.
You would be correct.
There
Point
you
of the
go.
day. Yep.
Yeah, celebrating 1985, 40 years in business for Stenny, second to National Walker's Point. That's where we're broadcasting from today. We go back live to Green Bay. Mike Clemens joining us. And Mike, like I said, this all hinges on Jordan Love this season. No matter what it is they did, what moves they made, and what depth they have, Jordan Love's got to play pretty well this season to make it all tick right. And starting off the season with a busted up thumb or a nicked up thumb for right now, that's, I guess, for the lack of a better term, maybe a little eyebrow raising.
Yeah, hey, Huey Lewis in the news used to pack them in at Summerfest, man. One night they drew 30,000 down there.
Right.
out there in the bleachers. Jordan Love, a great point that brought up on this show this week is, hey, wait a minute, left hand, if you're going down, isn't the one you stick out, to brace yourself when you're hitting the ground? And when we were talking to Jordan about that, he goes, yeah, I hadn't really thought about that.
Right.
Really, I haven't been hit yet all through camp after having this surgery. The last hit he took was against the Jets in the first preseason game. So this was an interesting little cat and mouse game yesterday with Matt LaFleur about, hey, now is Jordan Love, does he still have to make all of his handoffs Sundays with his right hand? And LaFleur was asked that yesterday. Listen to this Q&A yesterday.
Were you able to test Jordan's ability to hand off left-handed pretty well through the week?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
So
He hasn't done that once.
So does that mean you're going to just do it the other way?
Got to do something.
You're pulling my leg, right?
No, I'm not. I'm being serious.
How long do you think that lasts? I mean, at some point.
Yeah, we'll see. But
Does it change anything? I mean,
absolutely, it can change things.
in terms of your run game, or he just has to adjust to a different way, right?
Yeah, it absolutely can change things in regards to some of the things you may be limited to doing. So, but he's done a good job with what we've given him.
Yeah, right. We're going to wait and see. That's about the extent.
So
this guy, the guy that's going to be affected is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. So I went to Josh Jacobs and I said, wow, sir, Are you getting used to only getting handoffs with the right hand from Jordan Love?
Nah, man, he handed. I don't know if y'all seen it. He handed off with his left today, so I think he'd be all right, man. I mean, I'll just tell him to give you the ball. It's cool. However you get it to me, I don't care.
You're not the one trying to stop us.
And that's it, Mike. As long as you get it to me, I don't care how you get it to me. So I don't know if it's going to be a huge deal. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, Mike, I want to go real quick because we only got about a minute here. Back to Jayden Reed. You said he was throwing and tossing and catching passes on the sideline yesterday. What is the odds that he ends up playing in this contest?
Well, they still got him listed as limited, and on that foot injury. And I got to go. I don't mean to sound coach speak, but it's a day-to-day thing. If he has a good workout on a Thursday, or Wednesday in pads, how does the foot respond the next day? Because he's got this Jones fracture, which can be a stress fracture kind of a situation, painful. And do you just give it time to heal? Certainly, if they had surgery, that could be season-ending. But the Packers have got 7 players who you expect to start or see a lot of action on the injury report heading limited into this weekend's game. The Lions have 5 guys on their injury report. None of them are starters. Second, third, fourth string guys. The Lions come into this game very healthy, and so that's going to be a challenge for Matt LaFleur and company on Sunday afternoon.
No doubt. Mike, I will see you at Lambeau on Sunday. Looking forward to it. First game of the season, and who knows? Maybe I'll bring you some wings and a Bloody Mary from down here.
Please do. Please bring those wings, man. Please bring those wings. Thank you, Bill. Have a good time today.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. There you go. Mike Clemens joining us for a couple of minutes on the hotline. 1 hour down that fast. We got a lot more yet to go. Don't go anywhere. We are broadcasting live at Stenny's. Second and National here in Walker's Point. It is their 40th anniversary block party. Doors are going to open up here any minute. And then the party really gets underway a little bit later on this afternoon outside with bands taking the stage about 4 o'clock. Stay tuned. Got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show live down here at Stenny's coming up right after this.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
While the Milwaukee Brewers would fall in the rubber match to the Phillies 2-0 at American Family Field yesterday, despite Freddie Peralta extending his MLB best scoreless streak to 29 innings pitched. Peralta would go 5 innings, giving up 2 hits while striking out 8. Manager Pat Murphy talks on the loss.
Today, we didn't get the big hit. We didn't execute. We didn't get the big hit. Second and third, nobody out. Usually we do a pretty good job. We didn't. Credit the Phillies. Credit their starting pitcher was masterful today.
The Brewers will now head to Pittsburgh, take on the Pirates today. First pitch is at 5:40. Turning to the Packers, it was a full practice field as all 53 players on the active roster participated, at least in a limited capacity, as they prep for the season opener against the Lions on Sunday. Micah Parsons practiced for a 3rd straight time as he deals with a back injury. More from the new linebacker.
Still ramping up. It's a process of getting ready for football, being out 6 months, obviously going through the tightness, the soreness. But I just got to put in faith of, this great training staff and the coaches. They must solely get me into plays and get me things that I need if we decide to give me the green line out. But it's completely up to the coaches, though.
It'll be Packers and Lions Sunday from Lambeau at 3:25.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin will host Middle Tennessee State tomorrow. Badgers are 28.5-point favorites as they play with their backup quarterback, Danny O'Neill. Kick from Camp Randall tomorrow is at 3 o'clock. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
Welcome in to everybody on the network, all throughout the great state of Wisconsin, well beyond the borders, and all of you listening throughout all corners of this earth. All corners of this earth. Thank you so much for taking a listen to us. Today we start to make preview picks For the NFL, you got the Packers and the Lions at Lambeau Field this coming weekend. Brewers need a series win. And yesterday, Freddie Peralta pitched really, really well, and they still ended up on the short end of the stick, just not able to plate any runs yesterday. And they now sit 5.5 games up on the Chicago Cubs. But they could really use a good series win, and you'd like to see that happen at American Family Field this coming weekend. In the meantime, the Badgers getting ready to get at it tomorrow. Like I said, Packers on Sunday. You had NFL last night and a crazy game because it started off with a guy that spit on Dak Prescott in Carter before there was even a snap and gets ejected from the game. Their best defensive player, specifically in the trenches, gets ejected from the game. Then after that, you've got a pretty good game, and then you have a lightning delay. A storm takes place. So then they had to delay the game, and then finally, ultimately, the Philadelphia Eagles win. But if you're a Cowboys fan, you're probably thinking to yourself, for all the stuff that went on, it wasn't bad, but, man, did they miss Micah Parsons. They missed him yesterday. They had a terrific game plan. Matt Eberflus, he's not a head coach, but he's a pretty good defensive coordinator. They did a terrific job of bottling up Saquon Barkley, playing a lot of zone over the top. They weren't going to let anybody get behind him. Brown only with one catch yesterday, but they just couldn't contain Jalen Hurts. When Hurts broke the pocket, they kept him in the pocket, and then when he found the space, off he went. He was the leading rusher yesterday. So they weren't able to really get the job done in that sense, but Dak Prescott looked really good coming back from his injury, his first game back yesterday. So in that sense, they were, I guess pretty surprised and thrilled that he played at that level already. But CeeDee Lamb with 3 big drops, 4th and 3 right off the fingertips. Another one wide open, laid it right in his breadbasket on a deep middle, and he wasn't able to haul it in. So some gaffes yesterday out of the offense. Otherwise, you convert on one of those. Who knows? Maybe the Cowboys end up winning that game. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you probably walk away feeling pretty good about it. If you're an Eagles fan, you win the game. It's hoisting the banners. You're still feeling the euphoria of getting the Lombardi Trophy, but also you now have a lot to talk about behind closed doors because it was not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. So all of that last night. You've got more football coming up tonight in Brazil as the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers get underway. And already, here's the other thing. Already the line is Eagles +2 in the contest coming up at Arrowhead a week from Sunday because the Eagles are now off. Then you've got the Chiefs coming back. And if you look last year, when the Eagles came back from Brazil, they lost against the Falcons the very next week. And the Packers beat the Colts, but they beat the Colts not in great fashion. But then again, don't forget they were using a backup quarterback at that point in time. So it's not an easy trip to come back from. So we'll wait and see how that game plays out a week from Sunday down at Arrowhead. So all of that happening. We just had Mike Clemens on up in Green Bay giving us the lowdown. Jaden Reed is going to be kind of a game time decision, he believes. You've got, obviously, Jordan Love with that thumb. Still not really handing off with it. Does it affect the run game? Does it affect Josh Jacobs? He just said, hey, give me the ball. I really don't care how I don't care if he hands it with his mouth. It doesn't matter. Just give me the ball. So, which is good to hear. And then, obviously, you've got Micah Parsons yesterday speaking, and we're going to play all of that for you coming up here in a little bit. All of that, what he had to say. And you just got a plethora of stuff today. Today is an energizing day. It felt like a Friday yesterday. Today feels like a party, and it's because we're live down here at Stenny's at 2nd and National and Walker's Point. And for those of you around the state of Wisconsin, I've had many of you that have come down here when you come down for a Brewers game or a Bucks game or what have you, and have stopped in and taken the shuttle. They've been in business now 40 years, 1985. We're feeling a little nostalgic today, but 1985 is when they got it going on. And Jerry has been doing it great ever since. They've obviously got the new location out of Lake Country. They've got another one they're building up in the Mequon area. But they're giving away a Pan American. I said a Pan American was an e-bike. The e-bike is a live wire. The Pan American is a motorized bike. It was weird, though, because when I got here today, it was plugged into the wall. And they were just making sure the battery didn't die. So that was the reason I think I just looked at it and was immediately thinking it was an e-bike. But at Pan American, they're giving one away. They're giving it away. As a matter of fact, if you were watching the show a little bit earlier, Jerry had the bike and they started it up because they had it on display here in the bar. and then they started it up and took it outside to put it up by the stage. But he actually did a burnout in the bar, which is really cool, to be honest with you. He did a burnout right here in the bar in front of me, which was fun. So anyway, they got a big block party. All the music hits the big stage outside at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then this whole weekend is going to be fantastic. And, that's cool. That's awesome. I like that. Is that beer or is it lime lager? Okay. Yeah, I'm being handed a can. So good stuff. I like that. That is neat. You're going to keep it or you're going to bring me a full one? Bring me a full one. Bring me a full beer. I like that. Nice. Jerry coming by, dropping off a 40th anniversary can. I said, bring me a full one. So anyway, they have a big party going on down here. You want to get a hold of us? 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You can find us. You can also track us down via text message 608-321-1670, 608-321-1670. You can find us there. You can watch us on YouTube. All the fun and frivolity down here as you're looking right now. If you're watching down through the bar, they have not opened yet. That's why there's only one person in here. But eventually they're going to open the doors, which they did, I think, about 8 minutes ago, and people will start trickling in. This is going to be a big party down here this weekend. We're glad to be a part of it and promote it for them. They've been with us now 25 years in advertising. So thanks to Jerry and all of them. So anyway, that being said, you want to find us on YouTube and watch the program, youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show, youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. You can also find us on the different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, The Bill Michaels Show. And I also did a walkthrough earlier. It's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, and it's on Facebook. You can follow them there, The Bill Michaels Show. We're on the Twitch app, the Kick app, the LinkedIn app as well. Email the program, thebillmichaels@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, on X, @Bill_Michaels, @Bill_Michaels. You can find Grant @Wisco Grant. The app to listen to us anywhere and everywhere is WISCO, Wisco Sports Zone. Wisco Sports Zone. We're a television show on Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Central Time on My24 TV in Milwaukee, My24 TV in Milwaukee. And you can also find us after the fact on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts as well. So there you go. All the different ways to find us. Plus, coming up here, bottom of the hour, Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 over in Detroit going to join us coming up here in about 30 minutes, 25 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll get her perspective on the Lions and if they're ready. I mean, they've lost some guys up front. Their defense is back and healthy. They have only 5 guys on their injury report and pretty much insignificant when it comes to starters and role players because it's guys way down on the depth chart. They're coming into this game entirely healthy while the Packers have 9-10 guys on the injury report at this point as well. So a lot to get into when it comes to this Packers team and such. So anyway, come on by, say hello. Got a lot of good stuff going on down here. Stenny, second in National Walker's Point. Grant, when what's the Packers kicking things off this weekend? Obviously a big story, but doesn't this weekend feel like there's just so much to do? You can't squeeze it all in. It's like Kristen always tells me it's 20 pounds of stuff that you're trying to stuff into a 10-pound bag. It feels like that this weekend, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. And so the Packers played in this Friday night game in Brazil last year.
Yeah.
And I guess it was fine. I had a wedding, so it was kind of a little bit messy for me. But now that the Packers aren't involved until Sunday, I love that there's a game on tonight. Because the worst thing, Bill, is when you watch that opening night Thursday game, and then when it's done, now I got to wait all the way until Sunday. And we don't have to do that anymore. And I'm going to the Zone Blitz pregame bash with Ebo and Kate on Saturday.
So are you doing that now? Because there was a big, discussion about that yesterday about whether or not to do that.
Well, so we're going to the pregame bash. Well, we have to. Ebo's running the Blitz pregame bash. The question is what we're going to do after.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to go to.
You're going with Kate or not?
Yes, I can't go to Kate's college party without Ebo and vice versa. Because if Ebo and I show up together, we're hanging out with a coworker. If we show up alone, we're going to a college party, and that's neither one of us are comfortable doing that. So I think it's going to be an all or nothing, both me and Ebo, or nothing tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. You don't want to just be the creepy guy walking around a college party. I do it because now I'm to the point of, no F's given. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? I would do it. But we're going to be down here tomorrow night. Otherwise, I'd be out that way because it sounded like it was enticing. I just do it just to do it. And that's why I gave out the discussion and the advice to Kate. Don't be the booze hag, be the party monster. There's a difference.
There's an important difference
The
there.
booze hag is the one that falls down, hairs in her mouth, They got to carry her, dragging her. She's dressed all up, but they're dragging her, You can't get all dressed up pretty and all that kind of stuff and then be laying on the ground. Yeah, you can't do that. So get to the point where, you're a college student. Everybody knows what goes on in college. Get to that point that you're feeling fun and happy and you can dance a little bit. And you got your one arm in the air with the finger that you're doing and acting like you have some kind of rhythm and all that kind of stuff and doing that scrunchy face like you're kissing everybody. Okay, whatever. You can do that. But don't be the fall down booze hag drunk because nobody wants to hang out with a booze hag. Nobody
Put
wants
the lampshade on your head. Don't fall into the lamp.
Exactly.
There's an important line to be drawn there.
Lampshade makes a hat. The lamp makes a bad landing spot. So you are 100%
exactly
correct. There you go. 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, do it. We'd be glad to chat. So today is we've already made our picks for the games this week. We did it on the huddle the other night. But today is the day we're going to make our picks for the divisions and the NFC and AFC championship games and in our Super Bowl contenders. That's what I'm going to do. That's what we'll do today. So we'll get into that discussion coming up here a little bit later on as well. And one of the things we're going to do today is we're going to celebrate down here. We're going to have a lot of fun down here. I am going to get Jerry on a little bit later, which we do for a lot of our sponsors. But Jerry has such good stories that are sports related. Going back to the days when they used to have the massive bars and they'd bring in a semi with tappers on it for opening day at County Stadium, and they'd run massive bus loads of people. They still run shuttles here, but they run massive bus loads of people, back and forth to games, and what it was like in here when the Bucks won the championship, what it was like in here when the Brewers won and they were going to the World Series. And, you start to think about all this stuff, well, I take that back because they weren't open in 82. They opened in 85. But what it's like when the Brewers ended up going to the NLCS, the heartbreak that was in here. I was here when the Badgers beat Kentucky. I was here for that game. And it was pandemonium in this. I think I still have a video of it somewhere that maybe I could pull out. But I just remember when they won, you could not breathe in here. You could not breathe in this place. Also, one of the more memorable moments here at Stenny's was when they had a Saints watch party for the NFC Championship game against Brett Favre. When Favre threw the pick in the dome, this place erupted. I mean, erupted. I'll never forget that either. And again, you couldn't move in this place. It was elbow to elbow to elbow, and the place just erupted when Favre threw that pick, which is the infamous Paul Allen call. This isn't Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. And so there's a lot of sports memories here. I've always said this is one of the best sports bars. They got TVs everywhere, and they put different games on. This is also a Buffalo Bills bar on Sundays because those that are transplants from that area have made this their home. They love this place because they love the wings and they know wings. But there's so much history down here. So anyway, really, really cool stuff. We'll get into all of that. We're also going to hear from numerous people today. We're going to hear from Micah Parsons today, which is going to be fantastic. Let's do this. Well, no, let's get Gerard on. Gerard, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Hey, Bill.
What's going on, man?
Finally made it.
I was going to say, welcome back from, the land of the cartel.
Well, look, I was thinking about this. I figure you, Kate, Grant, Ebo, and Austin could go down there because it's $100 million to get Monduro. And I don't know if you have a better chance of getting him or hitting the Powerball,
Right.
So, but anyway, I just want to tell you this real quick. I'm in Miami and our flight's delayed 5 hours going down.
Oh, boy.
And what's happening is that Elon, they lied to us. They said it was the weather, but it wasn't. And this is American Airlines. They're constantly delayed, constantly. So anyway, it was Elon setting off a rocket from Texas to Miami, which never went off. But it still was delayed the flight. And I ran into a gal on the plane, and she was telling me that March 6th, her plane was delayed going out of Medellin to Miami, and they had to fly around for a few hours to burn the fuel and then go back to Medellin because of that. So I wrote Elon. Yeah, I wrote Elon, and he gave me a response. I said, look, when I'm traveling, keep your rockets in your pants. And I said, and he sent me an emoji back with a big smile on it.
That's great.
So
that's great.
But anyway, I just wanted to say I never, ever do we want to hear the Packers don't do that? It's not the way they go about doing things.
Right.
That's over.
I
That is
thought of you
over,
when
Bill.
all of that, when the Micah Parsons deal was done and you heard it, you're one of the people I thought of because you and I said the same thing. It's just not what the Packers do. And now with this regime, this is what they do. When they believe you're good to go, it's good to go. So what was your reaction when you read, oh, my God, they picked up Micah Parsons?
Well, the first thing I thought of was, I'm going to tell you, several months ago, when we were talking about they need a pass rusher, which one to get, Parsons wrote something, and I read between the lines, and that's why I kept bringing him up to you, is because it seemed that there was something going on there. And then we spoke recently, and you asked me, you thought he wasn't going to get traded, right, like a lot of people. And you asked me, do you think Jerry Jones would trade him? And I said yes. Because what's happened, even though they're both conservative guys, what happens is when you are Jerry Jones or in that ilk, there's certain things if you say to somebody, if they say it to you and you're Jerry Jones, it's going to cross you the wrong way. And you're going to say to myself, I'm not going to take this nonsense from this guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what happened. I think there was something said by his agent or him to Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones said, look, I had enough. I don't care how good he is. Nobody's going to talk to me like that. Okay? So that's the way I thought about it. But the trade was great. Anybody that knocks this trade is a mental patient. Okay? This is a spectacular trade. He's 26 years old. And if you think about it, there is not one person that Goody drafted that's better than this guy.
Right.
There's not one person in the first round that you could have traded all the first round picks and they're not equal to this guy. Okay. Now Goody's draft was okay, some good and some pretty bad. But the thing is, in the first round, he's never gotten a star. That's the problem, a real star.
Well, I think Matthew Golden could ascend that.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
a Hall of Fame
No, I get it.
guy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could debate a lot of this and that, but I think that I think he's going to play a lot Sunday. I think he is. I think they're just throwing a smoke screen, and there's so many other things you could talk about, but this is a change. This is what we've been looking for. This is the guy I've been yelling and screaming about all along. We need a guy that's going to change the game. When the team's going down the field on the final drive, this is the guy that pressures the quarterback when you get a pick. This is the guy that gets us a big sack. This is the guy that changes the game.
Yeah.
So this is what they needed all along. The whole thing is, now if you look at it, the pressure situation, there's going through the top three, LaFleur, there's a lot of pressure on. Hafley, there's a lot of pressure on. And probably Parsons. Besides, we could say Love. But those three, Parsons has to perform now.
Right.
And the whole thing, and Hafley has to put him in the right position. He can't play soft now.
No.
He can't play this soft zones and stuff no more. He can't do that anymore. And LaFleur, there's obvious pressure.
The soft zone, and Gerard, I got to run here. I'm really, really late, but and appreciate the phone call. But the thing about the zone is, if you don't have guys in your secondary to go man up or play press at the line of scrimmage, you can play a zone because your zone may be a smaller zone if you've got a guy like Micah Parsons that can get to the quarterback quicker. You don't necessarily need to play 10 to 15 yards off like they've done in the past. You can play a little bit quicker, and you can play a little bit more up front, depending on how much, like I said, you play smash and grab at the line of scrimmage. We got to do this. We're woefully late for a break. Let's do this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We are broadcasting live down here at Stenny's, Second and National, Walker's Point. This portion of it brought to you our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Go to PellaWI.com. That is PellaWI.com. Whether it's beautification, inside, outside, the economical factor, or the safety and security, much like I did when I ended up getting the big patio door in the great room to kind of complete the entire set. And not only is the great room now constantly between 69 and 70 degrees, the safety down there no longer sticks in the door or anything like that. It is good. It's locked. I never have to worry about it. That is our friends at Pella Windows and Doors. They give you so much peace of mind in so many different ways. Just get a hold of them. Go to PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com, or call them direct, 855-PELLA-WI. That's 855-PELLA-WI. More of the Bill Michaels Show live down here at Stenny's coming up next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Celebrating a lot of 1985 music as we are down here at a block party. 40 years in business. Stenny, second to National Walker's Point for all of you around the state of Wisconsin. And if you're coming into town this weekend for the Brewers game, man, it's a great place to start out. They're still going to be running shuttles from Stenny's, also out in Lake Country. But come on down for the block party. They have got a huge party down here tomorrow night. Tonight, they've got a kind of a blues festival going on, some blues music and a lot of brews and good wings and all that kind of stuff. But coming up tomorrow, they're going to be rocking the house. Almighty Vinyl tomorrow afternoon, and then Cherry Pie takes the stage 9 o'clock tomorrow night. 9 o'clock. So you got another one tomorrow, 1 to 4. Almighty Vinyl 5 to 8, and 9 o'clock. Cherry Pie rocks the stage, and it is going to be a party down here. This portion of the program, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Robert's Specialty Meats in Waukesha. And remember, if you're going to be doing some tailgating this weekend, whether it's at Lambeau Field, out at Camp Randall, or at a Brewers game, we're going to be tailgating and grilling up all over the place. Stop at Robert's on Sunset Drive in Waukesha for either the Al Capone roast, the handmade sausages, the handmade burgers, ribs on a stick, the garlic parm chicken skewers, or all the fixings out of the deli. He's got it all. That is Robert's Specialty Meats, Waukesha.com. He is your hometown butcher. There you have it. So coming up here, bottom of the hour, this is what we're going to do. Just after the bottom, Jennifer Hammond is going to be joining us from Fox 2 over there in Detroit. And we're going to talk with her about the Lions coming into town basically injury-free. Everybody's back defensively for them. They've had some changes up front on the offensive line, obviously, but they're still loaded, still pound for pound, probably the best team in the NFC, and they've had success at Lambeau Field. We're going to find out from her how big of a game they feel this is. I think for the Pack, I think if you want to get into, Grant, who needs this game more, I think hands down it's got to be the Packers. They make the big move. Yep. Jordan Love is back and healthy for the most part. It's at Lambeau. They have not beaten the Lions at Lambeau in a while. The Lions have been winning the division. I think this is a game the Packers must have right out of the chute. And Mike Clemens said it best, too. He said this is a big game, right?
Well, and here's how I've been gauging it. And I've been saying this for 2 months, Bill. If the Packers lose to the Lions on Sunday, and it looks like it's looked for the last 2 years, isn't Monday going to suck? Because we're going to come on the air, not just for our show, but let's talk about this show. We're going to come on the air and we're going to be saying and hearing the same things that we were saying all of last year about how they got off to a slow start or they still can't beat the elite teams. Like, I don't want to start this season the same way that we spent all of last season. Like, that would suck. So that's, I think, the biggest reason I don't want the Packers to lose on Sunday.
Right. I think there's a couple of ways that the Packers win. One is win ugly. There's flaws. There's things that, raise your eyebrow. But yet you get a win, and you kind of like if you're an Eagles fan, you didn't even come close to playing your best game, but you still won the ball game against a very tough team. That's kind of the way Packers fans would feel on Monday in an ugly win. In a blowout, you would feel really good about where this team is, Jordan Love, the run game, all the other things that go along with it, and probably the defense. If you get beat in a close one, it's not going to be good. If you get blown out, it is going to be mayhem on Monday. Well, the postgame show will be mayhem, but it'll be mayhem on Monday. So I still think the Packers are going to win this game. You and I both picked them the other night, which probably isn't a good sign. But I still think the Packers are going to win this game. I don't know whether they cover spreads or whether they just blow them out. I don't care. Just win the game. Just get the W. Get on top of the division, but more so than anything, beat a team that you have not been able to beat. The good teams last year, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Lions, they couldn't beat them. And this is a good team. So if you can beat this team, then you've ascended to that level. You may not win and be perfect, and you may not win and have all the kinks worked out, but if you win, any win over this team is a big win in exercising a few demons. That's just my opinion in all of this. Let's do this. We'll find out how big of a game this is from the Detroit point of view when we come back. Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 over in Detroit is going to join us coming up. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear this when we come back. This portion of it brought to you by our friends over there at Levine Ice Burner, attorneys that actually answer the phone and actually go to court for you. How about that? There's a novel idea, right? You build a relationship with them and they actually go to court for you? Yes, Levine Ice Burner. Brent Iceburner, great guy on the board of directors of Fisher House, Wisconsin. Whether it's a personal injury, estate planning, civil litigation, business contracts, whatever it is, they can help you out. Levine Iceburner, those are the people you want to answer the phone and build the relationship with you. 608-621-2888. 608-621-2888. We go to Detroit coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoked. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Love it. Love it. Good music. Good stuff. The theme of the Breakfast Club coming out of 1985. We are here celebrating 40 years. Stenny's, second to National Walker's Point. Their block party underway down here, and it's exciting. The band will take the stage. Bands will take the stage later on this afternoon. But if you want to come down and get some lunch and hang out with us a little while, you by all means go ahead and do so. That being said, we want to go over to Detroit because we were talking about this before we went to break. How big of a game is this we know how big it is for the Packers, but how big a game is this for the Lions? Kicking things off at Lambeau Field. Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 over there in Detroit joining us on the hotline. Jennifer, how you doing? Welcome back.
Hey, I'm doing well, Bill. And you know what? I just want to know when and where are the Black Crows playing?
They have got a lot of local bands, but I don't know about the Black Crows. If they could bring them in, that wouldn't be a bad way to go.
I heard something about the Black Crows tomorrow night.
I've got I'll be honest with you. I've got a Black Crows story. When I was doing rock radio, the lead singer of the Black Crows, we all got really nice cars, and when we picked them up at the airport to gig at the Newport in Columbus, Ohio, he wanted to drive the car and drop the transmission on the Ferrari that I had right in the middle of the highway.
Oh, goodness.
That's my Black Crows story. So Chris dropped the tranny. So there you go. How you doing?
I am doing pretty well. You know what? The sun is shining, and it's week 1 of the National Football League season. And I'll tell you something, expectations all around the division are huge. So it's going to be a fun one.
So how big of a game is this in the eyes of Lions fans and more so this team?
You know, I'd say it's probably a bigger game in the eyes of fans at this point in time, if that's possible. I mean, fans, of course, live and die on everything and have great expectations for them to win 15 games again this year. I know the team obviously wants to play well, and they've won, 6 out of 7 against the Packers, including 3 straight at Lambeau, which is almost unprecedented. I've covered this team for 30-plus years, and they haven't really had a stretch like this against the Packers in Green Bay for a long time. And so I do know that it's obviously an important one because it is against a divisional rival. And they've certainly got some things to kind of shake off, though, as far as when your starters don't play at all in the preseason, there's going to be a little bit of rust. But one thing that Dan Campbell just said in his press conference to us about an hour ago is it's all about getting better. And even if that means when there's adversity within the game itself, is getting better and finishing the game, strong and getting a win, even if it means winning ugly.
I think in the Packers case, anyway, this is, to me, as much as people want to talk about Micah Parsons, this is the Jordan Love game. Not a great game in the rain and the wind there last year. Did not play extremely well, obviously, coming with that injury. But that being said, I think the Packers need this for so many reasons. One is to beat a team that they were unable to beat last year because they couldn't beat those good teams. 2, because the Lions have won the division. And the Packers have kind of fallen off for a long time. Packers fans was like, who cares about the division? It's just Super Bowl or bust. Now you got to win the division, and you got to get the bye, and you want to get home field advantage. And I think in Packers fans' eyes, this is a huge game. The only turnover really for the Lions has been on the offensive line, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of turnover on the offensive line. They've got 2 new starters at guard, and then, of course, Graham Glasgow has slid over to center and locked up that starting role this year. But I'll take you back to as far as expectations, Super Bowl or bust, or getting that first-round bye. I know that the Lions proved last year that doesn't matter so much. They went to the NFC Championship game the season before in 23, and when they finally got that first-round bye last year, they wound up losing in the second week of the playoffs to the Commanders. So I think the most important thing for the Lions to show and the Packers to show is that you can beat the teams in your division, right? And it's pretty unprecedented. I mean, these two teams opening up against each other. The Lions have then the Bears in week 2. I know that the Bears week 1 have the Vikings. So, I mean, it really is going to be survival of the fittest in the NFC North and kind of the battle of attrition, because these teams, 3 of the 4 were playoff teams last year. It's likely to be the same situation again this year. And you've got to win those important games because, and especially to your point, as you said, the Packers maybe have a little more pressure because they now, with the Micah Parsons pickup, have become the favorite to win the NFC North.
I thought the biggest pickup until the Micah Parsons deal went down was picking up picking up DJ Reed and bringing him in as a corner to solidify the secondary. You already got better on a defense. It was already fantastic. But to me, going back to your point about not winning at home last year, they also ran out of bodies. I mean, they got Anzalone back, and I give him an A for effort, but they ran out of bodies. So if that doesn't repeat itself, they're probably thinking, get that division, get that home game, and be able to heal up a little bit, because there's no, knock on wood, you never get that rash of injuries 2 years in a row in the NFL. I mean, you just don't think that would happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did have 22 guys on the injury list at one point. I mean, unprecedented, certainly. But I believe that a lot of their woes in that game last year against the Commanders came on offense. You know, they made a lot of critical mistakes. Jared Goff had one of his worst games in Detroit. So as injured as they were, they still had some depth. They still had some guys so that they could have potentially pulled off that victory. I just think waiting a week, sitting around, maybe isn't the best thing for a hungry team that kind of prides itself on having that chip on their shoulder. You know, being number one isn't always the best thing, as playing like you're number one or like you want to be number one. Another thing, too, that Dan Campbell has said going into this season, Bill, is that this is perhaps the best, most talented and deepest team that he's had since he's been in Detroit. And this is now year 5. And it really is a testament to now the offense, or rather the defense, kind of leveling up to the offense. Because the offense has kind of been the driving force always, you know, tops in the league in scoring, and they've really been productive. And with Ben Johnson, certainly that was the case. But now they've got 2 new coordinators, and the defense is really kind of slowly climbing to match the talent level and the skill and the balance of the offense. And I think that they're going to win a lot of games quite differently than they did last year. They're not going to probably score 40 points per game, but I think they're going to have a very interesting kind of two-headed monster with the rushing attack with Montgomery and Gibbs. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more to Gibbs. And, you know, they're going to make sure that they keep Jared Goff upright as that offensive line tries to find its groove, because they are young, they are new, and you know that's a position where it takes a few games to kind of mold, and they didn't have that opportunity in the preseason.
I was going to actually bring that up. When you talk about getting guys into a rhythm in the preseason, getting an offensive line into a rhythm in a regular season, and then new coordinators. You don't know what they're going to do on 3rd and 7. You don't know what plays they're going to call, what rhythm they're going to try to get this team into. That's why I said, look, if the Packers are going to get the Lions, now's the time to get them before they really kind of figured things out.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. And we have to do pregame. We have to do picks for our pregame show, and I'm really on the fence. I you know, it's -2. Packers are a home favorite, and that's just nearly the tip of the cap for being the home team. I do think that this is a game that could go either way and end with a field goal potentially, or some kind of crazy fluke play at the end, because I think both teams are going to be kind of finding their way. There's some things that are different. Obviously, the coordinators, Kelvin Shepard's been around this team long enough that I don't think the defense will miss as much. I do think perhaps on offense there will be some things that just might take a little bit of time for them to kind of get their rhythm going. But by all accounts, Jared Goff is going to be the same guy he was, and one of their most talented receivers in Jamison Williams is going to be better than he was last year. So I do think it's going to be a load for the Packers to try to defend against this Lions offense, no matter who they have on the field and what approach they take, passing, running, etc. And you know that Dan Campbell's always good for a trick play, because as much as that was Ben Johnson, Jared Goff loves that. I know John Morton's going to want to try to work some of that stuff in as well. So it should be interesting to see.
John Morton and Kelvin Shepard, these two guys were groomed a year earlier because they thought they might lose their coordinators back then. So it's not like they're walking into a job that just all of a sudden they got thrust into. This was something that was planned down the road. in case Ben Johnson and company ended up leaving, which is exactly what happened. It's not only the coordinators, it's assistants, it's the change for offensive and defensive lines and such. So, again, how, at least coming out of that locker room, how comfortable, how seamless has it been for that coaching staff and the translation to the team?
I think for the most part, to your point, I mean, these guys were groomed for it. They figured they were going to lose, if not both Ben and Aaron Glenn the year before. They thought they'd lose one of them. The fact that they kept them both last season is pretty remarkable. So I think that they've been planning for this, preparing for these changes. And John Morton has a very solid relationship with Jared Goff. Goff has spoke, a lot about how great his relationship was with Ben, but this same type of thing, the kind of the symbiotic, the way they think, the way they see the game, and their ability to communicate at the end of the day is really the bottom line. John Morton knows what Jared Goff likes and what he's comfortable and best at. And so he's going to tailor everything he can to him. And I think it's going to be a pretty seamless thing, with the exception of, like I said, maybe the offensive line has some hiccups early on. And I don't know, is Parsons going to be healthy enough to play? I mean, all the questions about the back and what his situation is, I guess that's part of the X factor. But they're preparing like they're going to face a really good defense, and they'll be ready.
Hey, before I let you go, obviously we talked about how big of a game this is. When the news broke that the Packers actually went all in and they did bring in Micah Parsons, what was the reaction over in Detroit?
I think the reaction in Detroit was, we knew Brad Holmes was never going to give up 2 1s.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the writing on the wall. There are people that say outside of the building, oh, they should have done it. They should have gone all in. This team is serious about winning it all. But then by the same token, the Lions believe that if they can keep Marcus Davenport healthy, they've got Aiden Hutchinson, who was on his way to a Defensive Player of the Year type season last year when he was injured in Week 5. He had 7.5 sacks. He's certainly a stud by all accounts, and his head coach just told me again 2 days ago that he looks better than he did last year. Aiden is feeling that, I don't want to call it pressure, but just that importance of his role to be the guy, and he wants to, I think, show that he is the best pass rusher, not only in the NFC North, but also perhaps the entire league.
Always great to talk to you, Jennifer. Look forward to seeing you over there at Lambeau Field this coming week, and the Black Crows will be in Green Bay playing the pre-concert, but they will not be here at Stenny's. So just an FYI.
Okay.
But yeah, they're going to be playing the pre-concert.
That's
over
what
there.
I heard.
Yeah, they're not hanging out with me,
Wonderful.
but they will be in Green Bay. So yeah, they're going to be
Well,
there.
at least they won't drop your. Well, they won't drop your tranny again.
No, I would never let them drive a car. I wouldn't let them get near it. No way. Not after that whole experience. Jennifer, great stuff. Appreciate it. And we will talk to you soon. See you soon. Okay?
I'll see you soon.
There you go. Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 over in Detroit, joining us for a couple of minutes on the hotline. It's big to them. It's big to them to own the division. It's big to them to keep the dominance on the Green Bay Packers. I get all of that. But this game, I think, in so much more of a facet, is much, much bigger to maybe not even inside the walls of 1265, but more so to the fans. It's a big game in that sense, without a doubt. Got a lot of stuff to discuss, and we're going to get into all kinds of things coming up after the top of the hour, by the way. Got all kinds of things happening. We're going to be doing some picks and such, and getting into the NFC, the AFC, the divisions, the AFC and NFC championship games, and then ultimately the Super Bowl. We'll make all of our picks coming up here in about a half an hour from now. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Got a whole lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. Hey, we got some other great places that sponsor us, and they've got a big weekend coming up of sports on the tube. Looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend as well. If you want to sit outside, a little cool, but bring a jacket and watch the boats go in and out over there at Smokey's Bait Shop. That's Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill right there on Pewaukee Lake. They're always doing something great. They're always doing something when it comes to charitable stuff, meat raffles and things like that. Stop in, say hi to Ryan and his entire staff. They're always running some kind of a terrific promotion. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill on Pewaukee Lake, Lakeview Boulevard right there. Stay tuned. We got more coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket, this is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome in. Bill Michaels Show, rocking on down here. Stenny's second and National Walker's Point 40th anniversary block party. That's the reason we are here, kicking things off today. Brought to you by Viva, M-I-V-A, Viva Industrial. They make industrial bearings and hydrodynamic bearings for the power generation industry, and they are looking for good people. You could be one of them. At Viva, M-I-V-A, send your resume to Indeed. Find them on Indeed at M-I-V-A Industrial Bearings in Grafton, Wisconsin. They are hiring right now. Top dollar, great benefits. Again, Viva, M-I-V-A, or just give them a call directly, 262-337-2210. That's 262-337-2210, 262-337-2210. Meba Industrial Bearings right there in Grafton, Wisconsin. Good stuff. Let's do this. Micah Parsons spoke, And we want to hear from Micah Parsons. We want to hear, because Mike got it yesterday and just said it was terrific, and I have not had a chance to take a listen to it as of yet. Micah Parsons spoke yesterday. Mike caught him out in the hallway to talk about the back, how it got injured, and kind of how he's feeling now. This is Micah Parsons, the newest pass rusher, edge rusher for the Green Bay Packers. Take a listen.
I'm so hungry. I want it all at once. But that's why you got coaches. And, I always been like that. I never been the type to say, I'm finna come back on seconds. I'm finna load the plate all at once. Like, I'm finna get everything I need in one meal. So that's just always been me since I was a kid. And, as players, all we know, like I said, I tell people all I know is go. So once I get an itch of competition, like I see the basketball courts all around the building, I'm like, guys, who wants some? Like, even though we got 3-4 minutes, who want to just shoot some hoops real quick? Like, that's just me. So I know once I get out there, I'm just going to want to go. And that was the first thing, they're just like, well, we got to see how your body is. We got to do that. Because at the same time, I do have to get healthy. I do have to do all those little things to make sure there's a longevity piece in this. It is 18 weeks. There is hopes for playoff run and a long playoff run. So we have to think about that and making sure that everything is good to go.
When did the back tightness start this summer? Like during your workouts, or did you feel it during the workouts?
I honestly started during camp. When I did a lift and I felt like during one of my lifts, I felt a tweak, and then I just think standing on it, and I overused it, and that happens. So it was a complete accident. There's multiple MRIs and opinions about how the injury can go. Like I said, I completed my medicine. I've been at treatment every day, and we've been attacking it and being aggressive to get me as healthy and as quick as possible.
There you go, Micah Parsons talking about the back injury. We'll hear more from him in that full presser coming up here in just a little bit. When we come back, we're going to make some picks. We're going to tell you what we think of the NFL this year, what's upcoming. Don't go anywhere. 2 hours down, 2 hours yet to go. We are at Stenny's, Second and National in Walker's Point. It is their 40th anniversary block party. Kudos to them and congratulations on 40 successful years in the business. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Well, the Packers hit the field for the final practice before Sunday's season opener against Detroit at Lambeau Field. For a second straight day, all 53 players were on the field. That included linebacker Micah Parsons, who's battling a back injury he first started dealing with during training camp in Dallas. His status for Sunday's game still up in the air, but he is motivated to get out there against the Lions.
I never liked Detroit. I never liked them. Even when I was in Dallas, it was just always a heavyweight fight every time they came in. And they kind of got our guys when I was injured last year, or the whole team was injured. And so, I just think it's a funny way how things work. I'm excited to play him, and it's going to go all 12 to 15 rounds.
Again, the Packers and Lions going to face off on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Green Bay, 1.5-point favorite. Kick is set for 325. Turn to the Badgers. They will face Middle Tennessee State tomorrow afternoon as they look to get to 2-0. Wisconsin going to be rolling with backup quarterback Danny O'Neal following the injury to starter Billy Edwards Jr. O'Neal came in for Edwards against Miami of Ohio, throwing for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, also ran for a touchdown. Kick tomorrow is set for 3.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
When a company only does business in Wisconsin, that's Wisconsin Strong. Rural Mutual provides all lines of insurance, including commercial, farm, home, and auto. And your premiums stay right here to keep Wisconsin strong. Local agents, local underwriters, local claims adjusters.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Well, the Brewers are back out on the road tonight as they open a series with Pittsburgh. Quinn Priester will get the ball for the Crew. He's 11-2 with a 3.28 ERA. The Pirates counter with Johan Oviedo. He's 2-0 with a 3.60 ERA. Brewers enter the matchup holding a 5.5-game lead on the Cubs in the NL Central. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil-Pritt.
The Bill Michaels Show. Oh my goodness. Glad to have you. We are down here at Stenny's, Second and National in Walker's Point, and it is the beginning of their 40th anniversary block party outside. If you follow me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, I did a walkthrough a little while ago, video-wise, so you can see what they have outside. They've got a massive stage. They have got the motorcycle that is out there by the stage they're going to be giving away. They have got a huge tent, and the entire block, which is about 150 yards long, is completely blocked off. And that's exactly what it is. It's a block party. It gets underway now. They just opened their doors a little while ago. And if you want to come down and get yourself lunch today, enjoy the show for a little bit, by all means do so. Otherwise, coming up this afternoon, 4 o'clock, is the Big Al Dorn Band. And then Third Coast Blues Collective takes the stage from 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock tonight. Then coming up tomorrow, you've got another one at 1. Almighty Vinyl at 5, and Cherry Pie rocking the stage tomorrow night with all the 80s hairband rock coming up at 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. That'll be huge. And then on Sunday, they have a big Packers watch party down here. And then after the game, J.D. Rankin and the Solomon Royals, 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock to culminate the big block party and to give away the motorcycle. Going into this segment, I have to be honest with you, I got a Bloody Mary as we went on the air today, and I thought, I'm not going to let it go to waste. I mean, it's an award-winning Bloody Mary, right? And I drank it, and oh, my God, I got some of that pepper in my throat. And I was hacking, Grant. I didn't know if I was going to make it. You might have had to do this segment. I have Bloody Mary dust all over me, I guess.
You doing okay?
I'm doing okay now.
Okay.
But, yeah, it was I shouldn't have downed it, but I did. I'm like, I got 30 seconds. This is easy. And drain the thing, but shouldn't have done it. Got a piece of pepper stuck in the back of my throat. Oh, man. So there you go. But if you want to get a hold of us, you can. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. You can also track us down, 608-321-1670. Got a lot going on this weekend. You got Packers. You got the Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. You've got the Badgers out at Camp Randall again this weekend, and hopefully that Badgers offense really kind of opens things up and shows us something this coming weekend, and the defense staying as good, if not better, than what they were in the opener against University of Miami of Ohio. So we got a lot of sports stuff, but it is time to talk about the divisions in the National Football League, and who is our predictions sure to go wrong, but let's get into it. When you think about the divisions, let's start off in the AFC first. We'll go to the AFC, which is I'm not going to say it's easier to predict, but it's just we'll get into the NFC in the second half of all of this. So that being said, let's start off in that AFC East where, look, Buffalo has reigned supreme, Miami, New England, the Jets. My pick is again going to be Buffalo. I think still Buffalo is the cream of the crop. They're the team to beat. I think Miami is the biggest one at the top of the mountain that could fall one way or the other. If they stay healthy and Tua is good, I think, even though they did get rid of Jalen Ramsey, I think Miami could still be a team that could chase Buffalo. Otherwise, if they're bad, they could end up being in the absolute bottom of this division. I like what New England has done. I like Vrabel being there. I don't think they're ready to climb that mountain yet. I'm going to pick Buffalo to win it. I'm going to pick the Patriots to finish second, Miami third, and the Jets with Justin Fields. Even though he's brought them a spark, they've got a new head coach. I get all of that. I still think the Jets are going to be basement dwellers. It's going to be at least a year before they start to show any kind of real signs of getting better.
So let me ask you this. I'll pick Buffalo as well, and I think this is probably one of the easier divisions to pick. This is like picking the Packers to win the North when Rodgers was at the peak of his powers. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of a team that you assume, unless something goes catastrophically wrong and one of these other teams way overperforms, which happened a time or two in Rodgers' tenure, Buffalo's going to win. I'm a little surprised. Buffalo's minus 330. I'm surprised that the Patriots are plus 475 and the Dolphins are plus 950. I think the Patriots are trending in the right direction and they got a good coach now. I still don't think their roster is very good. And I'm surprised their odds are that much better than the Dolphins, who have good players and have a coach who might not be the best coach in the world, but like McDaniel's not a slouch. I'm a little bit surprised there's as much New England buzz as there is. And you think they're going to finish second in the division? Why do you think that?
I think their defense is good. I like Drake May. I think some of the moves they made this offseason to bolster that defense is good. they're going to rely heavily on defensive play. And I just think Drake May showed me something last year. I think it was just it was a bad experience, bad coaches and all that stuff. But I think he showed me something last year. And I think very quietly they've done some good things. And I think they're going to ascend. So that's the reason I'm picking them. And now whether they win it, they're second by a game or by a tiebreaker, I don't know. But I think they're going to finish second in the division.
Their schedule's really easy. I just don't know if they have enough good players. That's my question about New England, even though I think Vrabel's going to be a massive upgrade over Gerard Mayo, who is mostly awful last year. Okay, do you want to let's save the West for last because we have two of those teams going tonight. What about the AFC South? We can do that one next. The projected favorite is the Texans. They're plus 105.
Well, that's just it. The Texans, I think, got a bit of I don't want to say a raw deal last year, but their defense wasn't as good. And they had some injuries, and they had nobody to throw to. C.J. Stroud was basically a man on an island last year, so everybody's expecting big things out of him, but he just didn't give you the same numbers as he did his rookie year, and it's because everybody was banged up. I like the Texans to win the division mainly by default. I don't think anybody else in that division is really that good. The only team I think that can give them a run for their money would be Jacksonville, and we don't know about – this is a prove-it year for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you're either going to put up or shut up at this point. They've changed coaches, coordinators. Now granted, doing that often doesn't bode well. There has to be some level of consistency. But this is kind of like the put up or shut up year. I agree with you. I like Houston. I like Jacksonville to finish second. I don't know what to make. If Daniel Jones plays the way he did a few years ago when he got the contract for New York, the Colts with the run game and Jonathan Taylor and company, they're not that bad. It's not a bad team. They've acquired some decent talent. It's just whether or not Daniel Jones is able to do anything with that team. It's not that I don't have faith in Indianapolis. I don't have faith in Daniel Jones. So that's why I'm going to pick them to finish probably third in the division. But they could ascend. I mean, if all of a sudden Jacksonville just isn't any good and Trevor Lawrence doesn't show you anything, I could see Indianapolis finishing second. But I'm going to go with Houston first, Jacksonville second, Indianapolis third, and Tennessee bringing up the rear because I just don't have much faith in Tennessee at all.
I just don't know if they have any talent. And I don't know if their coaching staff is any good either. We'll see with Callahan and Cam Ward in year one. I don't want to pick the favorite in every division, Bill, because that's just not how the NFL works. But you're telling me I got to select Jacksonville, Indy, or Tennessee? Like I can't do that. I would rather, and this is how I make picks. Would I rather be wrong picking the Texans or trying to pick the Jag? Like I'll hate myself if I pick the Jags to win and then they look like the Jags, which they probably will. So I'll go with Houston just because, to your point, I don't know who else in this division is actually good enough to take it from them, even though I think Jacksonville is improving. I'm interested to see Trevor Lawrence. Let's do the North. So the Ravens are favorited or favored to win. They're minus 170, followed by the Bengals plus 290, the Steelers plus 475, and the Browns way behind at plus 4,000.
I think Baltimore's easy choice. They're a really good team. They've tried to bolster their defense, although I don't know what Jair Alexander's actually going to give them because he's still having knee issues. But you still have Derrick Henry. You still have Lamar Jackson. They're still going to equate to a lot of wins. The X factor in all of this is not Aaron Rodgers. It's Joe Burrow and the Bengals defense. Because I think Cincinnati offensively is a really good football team. They don't have much of a run game, but they're a really good football team. We know that offensively they can score with anybody, but they don't want to have to go back to what they had last year where they had to score 40 to win. I don't know if they can consistently do that. That defense hasn't proven to do anything. So, and Trey Hendrickson sat out a long time. Again, if Cincinnati's defense continues to falter, I can see Pittsburgh coming in second in that division and finding themselves again in the playoffs. And Cincinnati, they've got to make the playoffs, and they've got to get off to a fast start. And they're paired with Cleveland right away. And Cleveland has had their number for a long time. For whatever reason, Cleveland is able to beat them. But the emphasis this entire offseason is getting off to a fast start. So I'm going to say Baltimore wins the division. Cincinnati finally gets 10 wins or more. And I'm going out on a limb here because that defense sucks so bad. Then Pittsburgh, who probably also ends up with 10 wins and finds themselves in the postseason. And then Cleveland bringing up the rear. Again, though, what happens if Joe Flacco plays really well? And they've got a good defense. Myles Garrett and company are really good. I don't know if the offense is going to be any good. And if it's not, you're going to see probably Shedeur Sanders or, the mix thereof. But I'm going to say Cincinnati second, Pittsburgh third, Cleveland bringing up the rear.
And you think there could potentially be 3 playoff teams from this division.
Yes.
So Baltimore wins it, but then Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I like that. That's interesting. I think the same thing with Baltimore and Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh kind of applies that we were talking about Josh Allen. It feels very Aaron Rodgers mid-2010s. Like they're the best quarterback, they're the best coach, they're the best operation. They'll probably win the division. But man, it would be a lot more fun if Cincinnati and Pittsburgh were also battling for playoff spots. Pittsburgh, I know they're always in the playoffs, but with Rodgers, it would be a little bit more entertaining. I'll pick Baltimore too, because again, they've just built something so consistent. It's really difficult for me to pick anybody else.
Right.
The AFC West, speaking of best quarterback and best team and most consistent, maybe a theme here, Kansas City favored to win the West, -115. Denver is actually second, +240. The Chargers +370, and then the Raiders way behind +220 or 2020.
This is also a put-upper. Now, remember, what Harbaugh has been able to do in years that he has taken over teams is incredible. Usually that second, third year is when they really begin to ascend, and this is a big year for Justin Herbert. They still have Keenan Allen. They've got Ladd McConkey. Will Dissly is not a household name, but not a bad tight end. Tyler Conklin is more of the guy that people would know and recognize coming out of New York. But they picked up the running back, Omarion Hampton. Don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have somewhat of a run game now. It's going to depend on their defense and Justin Herbert. I think they have the ability to win games and be really good. The one thing in that division that I think is going to be really, to me, kind of igniting is going to be watching Ashton Genty and Geno Smith work. They don't have much when it comes to the outside play. They still have Jacoby Myers and company over there as far as weaponry in Las Vegas. But to watch Geno Smith and Ashton Genty, they could have something to say in this before it's all said and done. Obviously, I can't go against Kansas City. It just would be stupid to do so at this point. But I wonder if the Chargers or the Raiders would rise up and challenge Denver for the second spot in that division. I'm still, like you, I'm still going to go with Denver. The Chargers, to me, though, are going to be – this is their put up or shut up for Justin Herbert. And usually with Harbaugh, it means playoffs. I think they're going to find themselves in the playoffs again. You could see maybe Kansas City and then the Chargers and then Denver and then the Raiders. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Kansas City, Chargers, Denver, Raiders. But I'm going to have a lot of fun watching Genty run the football for Las Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know that there is a bad watch in that division, right? The Browns might suck to watch. I'm pretty sure that Vegas will at least be entertaining when they're on TV.
Right.
Like that should, and I think that was the goal in hiring Pete Carroll, right? Like we just need to be a little bit more serious.
Right.
We need to make this thing a consistent, like actual competent team, and then we can work on building it up. So I'm going to take Kansas City too. Let me ask you this, Bill. What happens if the Chargers in Brazil tonight come out and they smack Kansas City around, and Kansas City looks kind of old in spots?
Yeah.
And they don't look that dynamic, like their weapons don't blow you away. Would a really strong showing from the Chargers tonight put doubt into the mind of everybody who just assumes Kansas City's going to win the division? Because I think so.
This goes to my next statement, and that is when we get into the AFC Championship game and the representative. They still have Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Now we know that their other Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for a period of time. And Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, all that kind of stuff, and Travis Kelce. Offensively, they're a good football team. And defensively, they did add some pieces. Now, whether or not they're going to pan out, we'll have to wait and see. Ashton Gillette, their third-round draft choice, obviously pretty solid over at the right defensive end. They got Noel Williams. They have Omar Norman Loft, who they picked up for the right defensive tackle. They've got some depth there. Derek Nandy they got from the Jets. So they've been trying to bolster that. But I'm not picking Kansas City to go to an AFC Championship game. How about that?
That'll be correct me if I'm wrong, that'll be the first time in Mahomes' career, right?
Yeah. I'm not picking them. I just think it's run its course. I could be wrong. They're going to be a strong candidate in the postseason. But somebody has to take the next step. And I think your AFC Championship game is going to be Lamar Jackson against Josh Allen in Buffalo again, where you've got the AFC representative being the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is it for them.
Who do you think will beat the Chiefs? Will it be Baltimore or Buffalo? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just curious because those two teams have proven that they can't do it so far.
If Kansas City gets a an upstart team, Cincinnati has no fear going in there. They've beat them already. Cincinnati could make the postseason, knock off Kansas City, and that would open the door then for both Baltimore and Buffalo to go to the AFC Championship game. I'm going to say that's maybe what happens, but I'm going to pick Baltimore to be the representative this year.
So you have Baltimore at Buffalo. I'm going to take Cincinnati at Buffalo.
Really?
I would. Yeah. I think all of these teams, whether it's Burrow or Lamar or Josh Allen, somebody has to beat the Chiefs at some point. It feels like it should have happened already.
Right.
So I don't even think the Chiefs will be bad. It's impossible to keep winning at the level that they have without fail when there are other great quarterbacks in your conference. Like Brady dominated a lot of these teams, and he had to beat Manning every once in a while, but he wasn't dealing with like the 3 or 4 other best quarterbacks in the league at the same time.
Right.
So yeah, I'll go Bengals Bills. I think it sounds a little spicy and different. And our division predictions were not spicy. We had mostly favorites. So
No.
I'll get a little spicier with the conference championship.
I love it. Love it. When we come back, we'll look at the NFC. Don't go anywhere. Broadcasting live down here at Stenny's 2nd and National in Walker's Point. It is their 40th anniversary block party getting underway. The doors have opened. People are starting to stream in for lunch today. Come on down, get yourself a Bloody Mary, some wings, and hang out for the show for the next hour and a half as well. This portion of it brought to you by a terrific place. Speaking of great places, Buzzard Billy's. That's in La Crosse, out there on Pearl Street. Starlight Lounge upstairs. I'll see them at the end of the month going out there for Oktoberfest. Looking forward to it. Buzzard Billy's, they opened in 1997 in what was formerly that 1860s brick hotel. They've been around a while as well. Go to Buzzard Billy's downstairs, Starlight Lounge upstairs. NFC picks next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwnerOperators.com.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program. We're glad to have you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Always glad you're with us. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Dream Vacations. And they did it for me earlier this year. The trip to Punta Cana was fantastic. And now they have put together a trip that we're taking next year to Exuma. And I've never been to Exuma. Everybody tells me it's beautiful down there, and that's where everybody wanted to go. So I said, okay, what the hell? So they're putting together a trip to Exuma for us. And they can do the same for you. Look, whether it's a resort, a trip like we're taking, or maybe you just want to go follow the Packers or the Brewers or what have you. For all your resort, cruise, and sport travel vacation needs, let Melissa and Michael help you, plan and book your next getaway. The big thing about Michael and Melissa, they also volunteered beginning and end, and have already volunteered for next year as well for our motorcycle ride and helping us raise money and funds for Big Unit Foundation for military members, veterans, their families, and first responders. So they're great people. Put their money where their mouth is. They're going to do some stuff with us about trip bookings and percentages and such for charities. So we got a lot of stuff going on with Dream Vacations, but they're great people. Call them direct if you want to travel. 414-208-4221. 414-208-4221. Again, 414-208-4221. And you'll be good to go with our friends at Dream Vacations. All right, let's get back into it. Now we go over to the NFC side. Let's take a look at the NFC. We will start with the game last night and the NFC East in this case. The Philadelphia Eagles did not play their best game last night. They ended up getting a win over the Dallas Cowboys. But Dallas, if you're a fan, you got to be waking up today going, you know what? Dak Prescott looked pretty good. CeeDee Lamb's not going to have those significant drops because that's just not what he does. He's usually a pretty good handed and short-handed wide receiver. Their defense, while they got pressure, they weren't able to contain Jalen Hurts, but they looked better than I thought they would. And for everybody that predicted they would get blown out, they certainly did not. And they came out and looked pretty good early on in that contest. I think they're going to be good. I think this is probably a really, really good division. It might be between the NFC East and the NFC North. I think that's going to be a battle for as to who has the best division. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win it again. For the first time in 21 years, will be a repeat winner over in the NFC East. But I just don't think Dallas is going to have enough. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. I'm going to stick with my picks. Washington's going to finish a close second. And we're looking for another big year out of Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. The Giants aren't terrible. And if you get really good Russell Wilson, which I'm saying that almost tongue-in-cheek, they can be competitive. They can be a decent team. And everybody knows that they're in it to win games because their owner made no bones about it. We want to win games. Do everything you can. I just don't think they're going to be good enough. I think Dallas is going to finish third, and then I'm going to take the Giants to finish fourth. So Philadelphia wins it for the first time back-to-back in 21 years, followed by Washington, Dallas, and then the Giants.
I don't think you're being prisoner of the moment picking Philly after last night, because I think last night's a great example of Philly doesn't even need to play that good. Their best player wasn't on the field last night, and their offense was fine. And they still won because they just have more talent than everybody else.
Right.
So I'll take Philly as well. I'm with you. I think Dallas and the Giants could end up having similar win-loss records this year, but it'll feel way different. Because if the Giants win 8 or 9 games and they realize that Jackson Dart is the guy and they double their win total from last year. That feels great. Dallas will feel like they're stuck in the middle. I like Washington to finish second as well. But I think the Giants and the Cowboys will kind of fight around the same record, and they won't be too far behind. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
I don't think the loser of the last place team in the NFC East this year, I don't think is winning 3 games.
Right.
I think these teams are all, even the lesser ones, the Giants and the Cowboys, I think are still pretty solid, and there's some real talent on both, especially for the pass rush. That D-line for the Giants is nasty.
I would agree. What division do we want to go to now? The West or the South?
Let's do the NFC South next, and I can give you the odds here. Why don't we save the Packers division for last? Because I feel like if I pick the Packers, I'm just going to screw them over. So I'll at least procrastinate that till the end. The Buccaneers are favored to win the South, -120.
Here's where I go against the grain. I'm going to take the Falcons. I think the Falcons are ready to go. They have got a terrific run game. Michael Penix Jr. showed us some things last year. Their defense is pretty good and very underrated. I don't think Carolina's going to amount to much. I think New Orleans is a cellar dweller. I think Atlanta's going to win the division. Tampa Bay is going to be a very close, maybe by a game second or a tiebreaker second, followed by a distant Carolina, who is now going to realize that their quarterback choice with first overall years ago is just going to amount to a steaming pantload. And New Orleans, for as much as we love the city, visiting it down there last year for the Super Bowl, isn't going to amount to much as a football team. So Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Carolina, then the Saints.
Ooh, so you got Carolina ahead of the Saints. Okay. I like Tampa Bay a lot. And I wish that they were slightly behind Atlanta in the odds so I could do something a little bit more interesting with one of my picks, because I feel like we're pretty favorite heavy right now. I think Tampa Bay's awesome. They're really talented. They're well coached. They're well run. They're kind of Packers-ish in the way that they've had a very consistent way of doing things now, really since before Brady got there. They just needed the quarterback. So I'll take Tampa Bay. I think Atlanta will be right there, and that will be a fun division race to watch. I think Carolina, New Orleans, whatever. I think Carolina's better run than New Orleans right now, even though I don't think the talent disparity is huge. So I'll do the same thing as you, minus the 2 teams at the top. I'll go Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans at the bottom.
Okay, takes us out to the NFC West, where you have Arizona, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle. I think if it wasn't for the back issue, I think it would be hands down with Devontae Adams and company and Puka Nacua and an offense that's ready to go. I would say the Rams, and I'm still going to pick the Rams, but I'm not picking it with the same level of confidence that I would have if the back was not bad on Matthew Stafford. Now, where everything else begins to fall into line, that's where it starts to get tricky. I think Seattle, depending on what Sam Darnold was with Kevin O'Connell, who everybody believes is kind of the quarterback whisperer. I don't think he's going to have the same success in Seattle. So I take Seattle out of the mix. I think it's going to go the Rams, the 49ers, then Seattle, then the Cardinals. And this is also a big year for Kyler Murray in put up or shut up fashion, because they went out and got Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, the best wide receiver by far that many thought was coming out into the draft at that period of time. They've bolstered their defense. They've added pieces. Kyler Murray, put up or shut up. Every year he talks a big game and he got paid and he wants to play well, but he always gets hurt, always ends up having a good half a season. He's never been able to put it all together. I'm going to say there's no belief in Kyler Murray to do anything else but what he's done in the past. History will repeat itself. So I'm going to go Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Arizona.
So I'm going to pick the Rams to win the division. They're actually slightly behind it. If you look at the betting markets right now, San Francisco's plus 155. LA's right behind it, plus 200. So it's close, but the Rams aren't a favorite. So we're actually doing something a little bit outside the box here. I want to pick another team to get second over the Niners, but the Niners schedule is just so much easier than, it's a really easy schedule. So I'll go the same as you, except I will have Arizona ahead of Seattle. But I don't think Seattle will be bad. I believe in Kyler Murray and what they're building down there a little bit more than most.
Kyler Murray has looked great, and he always looks great in 7 games. Count on him just being spectacular and being a highlight reel in 7 games. And after that,
Mr. September.
Yes, he is a steaming pantload after that. That brings us to the NFC North. That is, for most recent times, has been owned by the Detroit Lions. And then it was kind of a toss-up, but Minnesota obviously coming off of big wins last year. 15 wins for the Lions, 14 for the Minnesota Vikings, 11 for the Green Bay Packers, and Chicago bringing up the rear. It pains me to say this. I still think the Lions, pound for pound, are the better team. So I got to look at that and say, until you knock the crown off, they're probably, and they got better. They didn't get worse. They got better. The only big change we're looking at is going, they changed a couple of offensive linemen, and by the way, they got new coordinators. Other than that, defensively in the secondary, they got better. That's a team that lives and breathes with defense, and they take chances because they know their defense can get stops. So I'm going to stick with the Lions. I'm going to take the Packers to finish second. I don't know if it's going to be by a game or two, but I'm going to pick the Packers to finish second. Minnesota goes from 14 wins last year to 10 wins this year. They get in with 10 wins. And then the Bears maybe end up with 9. They're going to be a somewhat of an ascending team, but they're still bringing up the basement in the NFC North. So I'm going to go Lions, Packers, Vikings, then Bears.
I will agree on everything. I'm just going to swap Green Bay and Detroit. I think the Packers are going to win the division. I think they're talented, and I think we're going to see some of the things that were a little fluky and a little weird. I don't want to say fluky, but between injuries and losses in close games and turnover differential, those sorts of things, I just think they're ready to flip a couple of the games that they lost last year, and those are the games that they needed to win the division. I think Detroit will be awesome just for the reason they're getting healthy on defense. They didn't even really need to add anybody. They did, a player or two. And then Minnesota behind. And I like your win totals for those two teams. If Minnesota wins 10 games, I think the first year with J.J. McCarthy, that's a huge success. And if Chicago wins 8 or 9, I think they're trending in the right direction, of course, depending on how Caleb Williams looks. But I think the Packers are going to win the division just because a couple of the things that stuck them last year, I can talk myself into those things flipping. So that's where I stand.
There you have it. That's the way we pick them. My AFC and NFC. Well, the NFC representation, by the way, coming into this, this end of this season, God, it's so tough for me right now. Packers make the postseason. Philadelphia, Washington, the Lions, Atlanta, the Rams. My NFC championship game is going to be Green Bay at Detroit. Green Bay at Detroit. And the Packers, with the final puzzle piece that is Micah Parsons, end up in a Super Bowl out in San Francisco. And they're going to San Francisco, ironically, to this particular Super Bowl, a Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers so desperately wanted to appear in San Francisco in front of the friends and the family and everybody from up there in Chico, California, which is not that far away. So they do it without Aaron Rodgers. They do it with Jordan Love. This is that year.
So you want to hear my NFC championship game? I'll get a little spicy. I'll throw it around a bit. I think the Packers are going to lose an absolute war in the divisional round. I think here's my NFC championship game. The Rams at the Buccaneers. That's what I'm going to That's what I'm going to pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Tampa, man. I think they're a bunch of dogs. I think the Rams will have some ups and downs with Matthew Stafford's back and with some of the, the ups and downs that goes without saying through a season. I think that team is better equipped to turn it on and to play their best ball and to get good quarterback play at the right time. And I just think Philly, even through all the talent, it's hard to do it back-to-back years.
Right.
And I think I trust Matthew Stafford, and I might even trust Baker in that team a little bit more than what the Packers with Jordan Love have showed us thus far. I hope I'm wrong, but I'll throw a spicy pick in there.
There we go. And then ultimately winning a Super Bowl, I don't even want to know if I go there, but I said Baltimore would win in the AFC, Packers in the NFC. I got to go Packers. Just because. I got to go Packers. Just because if they're there, they got to win.
That's fair.
So there you go. That is our picks. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little beverages and some history down here at Stenny's when we return. Stay tuned. This portion of it brought to you by our friends at Suburban Harley-Davidson, Suburban Motor Company. Huge, huge supporters of the motorcycle ride this past week, and we can't say thanks enough to Todd and Aaron and everybody out there. 50-plus years in business. They're on Main Street in Thiensville. Right now, a lot of great deals on bikes, especially as the season begins to wind down. But if you're looking for somebody to do service and store your bike, they can do that as well. Again, go to suburbanharley.com. That is suburbanharley.com. Give them a buzz. Get a hold of Todd. Get a hold of Aaron. They can help you out. Again, suburbanharley.com. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next. Ready?
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoke. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Pull up to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and shoot your shot at big wins for Sweet Ticket September. Play with your rewards card for entries. Score triple on drawing Thursday. Win slam dunk prizes like cash, reward plate, and tickets to see the Milwaukee Bucks in action. Sweet Ticket September. You ready for this? Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program. We are down here at Stenny's for the 40th anniversary block party, second to national in Walker's Point in Milwaukee. For all of you listening all throughout the great state of Wisconsin and all of our fine affiliates, I want to remind you that our friends at J&L Tire and Service Center say thank you for voting them the best tire dealer out there. You can find them just north of 94th at the Johnson Creek exit. And whether you're driving the minivan or all the way up to an 18-wheeler, they have the facilities to handle everybody. They also have a second location on Boulder Road in Watertown. And they're such good people out there. You've got Lyle and Chad, and they do so much work, especially around the holiday season where they do a lot of good stuff as far as philanthropic stuff goes. Big supporters of our motorcycle ride and more so of anything, Big Unit Foundation. And they donate, and hopefully you do as well. If you would like to make a donation in supporting our veterans, military members, and first responders and their families, you can do it at bigunitfoundation.com. That is bigunitfoundation.com. We are down here at Stenny's, second and national again, Walker's Point. And joined now by my longtime friend, Dave Hawk, and Garrett Fortune, who is the founder of L-I-N-D, Island, I-L-A-N-D, Vibe. And how you doing, guys, first and foremost?
Good.
Yeah? Dave, do we even have your mic on? We got to turn your mic on. There you go.
Looking forward to a great weekend down here at Stenny.
It's now, Dave, you and I have been friends a long time. You've been here in the market since what, the 80s?
Late 1980s. Late 1980s. And Stenny and I have been doing block parties that long too. The annual block party was down here on Memorial Day weekend, and then all the Harley events every 5 years.
Right.
It was Labor Day weekend, so lots of block parties over the years.
I've done
tons of fun.
Two of them that we've worked on the air, but another one that I did where we did celebrity bartenders that one year. We did a bunch of celebrity bartenders now. They're bringing back a bunch of old bartenders and people that used to work here too.
All the way back to the very beginning. Packy and Barry and all the original Stenny bartenders are all going to be back. They're going to be under the tent outside, talking it up and bringing out. They want to bring back all the old Stenny customers too, and bring back a lot of heritage. A lot of fun times.
I want to get into Island Vibe here in a second, but go back to the day because it was just different in the city back then. It was before COVID, and you go back to the 80s and the 90s, and it used to be where it was bus loads of people going to opening day, bus loads of people going to Packers. You guys had. Back when you were working with Beechwood and Budweiser, you guys would have semis out there, distributing beer, and it was just a different time back then.
It really was.
This was Beer Town.
We used to bring down like 6 trucks to opening day. We'd have the radio stations would need a truck, Stenny's and Rodeo, and a bunch of the bars. The big bars had 200 or 300 people.
Yeah.
I mean, WLUM, I remember they had 2,000 people at the tailgate.
Wow.
So it was a different era back
Yeah.
then, and things were a little more wide open than they are today, and the block parties were equally huge.
Right.
And everybody remembers that, the variety of different Harley events that we've had. Labor Day weekend in this town, and some massive block parties from
Right.
Walker's Point to Water Street. But hey, this weekend we're looking to replicate some of those times down here at Stenny's. So
a lot of
it's gonna be
nostalgia down here already this weekend, without a doubt. And we're here with Garrett as well. And this is a new product. So I thought it was like a big giant can of soda beverage, and it's not. It looks like a 5-hour energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the opposite of 5-hour energy, by the way, when you explain it.
Yeah, so it's a 10 milligram THC shot. We wanted to do something a little different than the regular format, 12 ounces. That way you can open and close this as you want. You can dose yourself as you want a little bit, take a sip and close it back up. They're very portable for taking into sporting events, as well as transporting around. You're not carrying around a can, and you don't have to commit to 12 ounces if you don't want to. Plus, they make a great mixer in cocktail, like mocktails. So we have a bunch of beverages that we do. Then we have bartender contests, so you can win $5,000 if you come up with the best recipe.
So there you go. For those that are watching on the live stream and can see it on the TV side of thing, that's Island, ILND Vibe. And now, where are they carrying this now?
So we're distributed throughout Wisconsin by Badger Liquor as well as Frank
Okay.
throughout. So we have coverage on the state of Wisconsin, and convenience stores, grocery stores, direct to consumer through the website, and then a lot of different bars. So we're starting to roll out on premise and starting to go after that category, because a lot of the Gen Z people are drinking a lot less alcohol. There's no hangover with this. You can still drink socially with a non-alcoholic beverage that's THC. You're not going to get too messed up. And
is there a medicinal? Is there a medicinal side to this?
There is. There's a lot of research out there. It helps you sleep, relaxes you. I mean, there's different things. There's different cannabinoids that do different things. This is more of a chill, relaxing, pretty steady hybrid sativa indica mix. That's not going to put you to sleep, and it's going to relax, more of a body buzz than a head buzz.
Okay, so some people are going to be drinking the alcohol down here, and other people are going to be chilling and relaxing to the blues music later on tonight.
Correct,
taking this
especially
stuff.
and then the reggae on Sunday.
That's right. And they're going to have this out at the cocktail bar, the container bar that Jerry has down here. Lots of variety of different NA drinks. You can mix this in any drink or buy it just as a shot. But it's, again, opening up the new world of beverage. People want more variety. They want their beer and their spirits, but this is a booming category and something that more and more people are getting into.
Is this something 21 and older to get?
Yes.
Okay.
So we sell it to 21 and older.
Okay, so it's not going to be just sitting on the front of your convenience store. It's going to be in the back.
They sell it like alcohol or tobacco. If it's up at front counter, it's very well covered. It's usually in a display.
It's Island Vibe, ILND, and it comes in different flavors. I got a blue raspberry in my hand, and then there's a citrus and
peach
as well. But so anyway, long story short, it's got THC in it, which can be everything from medicinal. In the fact of, pains, aches, and things like that. It can help you sleep at night. It can just give you a chill, what have you. But if you're going to be out and about and you see this stuff, by all means, I'm going to try this later on today. I'm not going to do it on the show right now, but I'm going to try it later on today, and they're going to be selling it down here. Well, you don't want to get too much of a buzz when you're talking sports and uppity stuff. But they're going to have it down here. So if you're coming down to Stenny's this weekend, which, by the way, this place has been filling up pretty steady, as you can see here throughout the day, and you can see some of the people that have already streamed in. But really, the music gets underway 4 o'clock today. Big crowd down here tomorrow for Cherry Pie tomorrow night. And then, obviously, like we had mentioned, you got some reggae and such, and a big Packers watch party coming up down here on Sunday. So come on down to Stenny's and enjoy it, or look for Island Vibe at your local convenience stores, grocery stores, liquor stores, things like that. And how new is this?
We just rolled it out this year, and it's really taken off.
Okay.
We have distribution through Ohio, through Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're a Cleveland guy,
states.
I found out.
I
so.
am.
I still have a shirt. I don't know if you remember this, Dave, from us living in Cincinnati, growing up there. But I still got it. My dad bought it for me. Now it's only a large, so it won't for me today. But it still says if it's brown, flush it down.
Yes. We haven't had the best run at football out there. So
but you've been beating the hell out of Cincinnati for a while.
We have. We'll see what we're going to do on Sunday. And I've become a de facto Packers fan since I've been in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Garrett's living up here now.
Okay.
So
there you go. Good stuff. Well, welcome to Milwaukee, and try the product. Island, I-L-N-D, Vibe, Island Vibe. And that's exactly what you get. You get kind of a cool vibe out of it. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Stay tuned. We got a lot more in another hour yet to go. The Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoked. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
just like that, 3 hours down, another hour yet to go. Excited. After that, I get a chance to indulge in wings and hang out down here. We are broadcasting live at Stenny's, second of National Walker's Point, and all weekend long. And it's the 40th anniversary block party. The music kicks off today, 4 o'clock on the big stage outside. The entire street next to this place is completely shut down, and it is going to be one hell of a weekend down here. Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully you get a chance at some point to come on down. Thanks to the guys, Dave and Garrett, from Island Vibe, ILND. And yes, by the way, for those who are asking, is it legal? Yes, it's legal to sell in the state of Wisconsin. It's the opposite of a 5-hour energy. It's not going to, make you pass out, but it just kind of relaxes you, gives you a little chill. And if you got some aches and pains, sometimes those kind of go away. But I'm not going to say it's a medicine by any stretch, but good stuff. And I'll try this. I'll try it on the air, but I'll try it a little bit later on. Hell yeah. Maybe later tonight when I lay down, or tomorrow night before we get ready to head up to the Packer game. But looking forward to that. We got another hour yet to go, and we're going to hear from Micah Parsons, fully. We got some other stuff for you to listen to as well. Plus, the man that started all of this down here, some great stories. Our buddy Jerry Stenny is going to swing by, and before we send everybody off for a very fun-filled, sports-filled weekend, without a doubt. Again, broadcasting live, Stenny, second and national down here in Walker's Point for the 40th anniversary block party. Get down here and have some fun. Stay tuned. We got another hour yet to go right after this.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Well, the Packers hit the field for the final practice before Sunday's season opener against Detroit at Lambeau Field. For a second straight day, all 53 players were on the field. That included linebacker Micah Parsons, who's battling a back injury he first started dealing with during training camp in Dallas. His status for Sunday's game still up in the air, but he is motivated to get out there against the Lions.
I never liked Detroit. I never liked them. Even when I was in Dallas, it was just always a heavyweight fight every time they came in. And they kind of got our guys when I was injured last year, or the whole team was injured. And so, I just think it's a funny way how things work. I'm excited to play him, and it's going to go all 12 to 15 rounds.
Again, the Packers and Lions going to face off on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Green Bay, 1.5-point favorite. Kick is set for 325. Turning to the Badgers, they will face Middle Tennessee State tomorrow afternoon as they look to get to 2-0. Wisconsin going to be rolling with backup quarterback Danny O'Neal following the injury to starter Billy Edwards Jr. O'Neal came in for Edwards against Miami of Ohio, throwing for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, also ran for a touchdown. Kick tomorrow is set for 3.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoke. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
Well, the Brewers are back out on the road tonight as they open a series with Pittsburgh. Quinn Priester will get the ball for the Crew. He's 11-2 with a 3.28 ERA. The Pirates counter with Johan Oviedo. He's 2-0 with a 3.60 ERA. Brewers enter the matchup holding a 5.5-game lead on the Cubs in the NL Central. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heil-Pritt.
Welcome in, final hour. What a day. I got to say a hi to Frank and Margie. They are in town, and they came over and said hello. They are from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and made it a point to come down here and hang out a little bit. They are in Milwaukee this weekend. They are coming to see their daughter, who's over at Marquette. They got into Marquette, and one of her first weekends as school is now back, but they came down to see her, and they wanted to come over and say hello.
and they stopped at Stenny's at the end of the bar down there. They're having some Bloody Marys, and I think they're going to have the wings and the Bill Michaels garlic cheese bread, which is fantastic. But thanks to them for coming by and saying hello. We appreciate it. Thanks to Garrett, who has stopped by a little while ago. Not the Garrett that we just had, but Garrett, who is also a good friend, came over and said hi. And we just got a lot of familiar faces that have been coming and going all day long as we begin the 40th anniversary block party for Stenny's down here in Milwaukee. And really, more so than anything, in Walker's Point in Milwaukee. Let's do this. Micah Parsons sat out. Well, actually, I shouldn't say sat out. He wanted to meet with the media. He wanted to kind of clear up some things and to kind of be seen and heard. So yesterday, Mike Clemens had a chance to catch up with him. Micah Parsons talking to the media. Take a listen.
I'm still ramping up. It's a process of getting ready for football. Being out 6 months, obviously going through the tightness, the soreness. But I just got to put it in faith of, this great training staff and the coaches. They can solely get me into plays and give me things that I need, if we decide to give me the green light out. But it's completely up to the coaches, though.
Micah, who have you been spending the most time with one-on-one since you've gotten here?
I've really been trying to get a little bit of everyone. I'm going to go play some ping pong with the tight ends once I leave here. Josh been reaching out to me. RG, just everyone's been just grabbing me. I'm blessed to be around such a great locker room of guys. Like, guys talking about let's go get in the game. That's like more my speed. So, I think this is a great locker room, and I'm extremely lucky.
What does the process look like the last couple of days of you trying to get up to speed with the system?
Honestly, bro, the system's been pretty easy, and that's not because of Hapsy. I think they're just good teachers, great teachers. The coach has been unbelievable, giving me an extra meeting, so staying out later, coming in before, coming in on off day, and just me on my own time, catching up to make their transition a lot easier. So we all hands-on trying to learn this playbook, and so far we're about 80% there. So there's a couple things they want to get me in, but we're just taking it 1 week at a time, especially with the ramp up, just getting me in where they feel I can play and things like that.
Jordan stood up here yesterday and told us that he's got the perfect vision for you. He wants the defense introduced, you to come out last, crowd goes crazy, you get a sack on a 3-and-out on the first series. Have you envisioned how it's going to go?
Nah, I didn't envision that yet, but I love a prophet. As long as he's praying and he's praying right, I'll take that prophecy for sure. I'll take it.
Back to the football learning part of it. I remember I was reading something from Mike Zimmer, who coached Brilliant. Yeah. Have you always been a smart football guy who's just been able to pick up on things pretty easily?
100%. I'm just so hard on myself that I never make the same mistake twice. So it's just the ability to learn and understand that, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to mess up, but just doing everything 100%. And then usually if someone teaches me something, I probably won't forget it because it's probably important if they're teaching it to me. So I'm actually really grateful for Zim because I told him coming here, I was like, Zim taught me so much about protection. This beats protections, expect this and this protection. So some of the looks, they're over here trying to teach me. I'm like, yo, I've been under the master Zimmer. So there's not much you can pretty much tell me about protections. I understand how each alignment is going to dictate the pressure. Me aligning is going to dictate the pressure and how we can open things up. And I think Hapsy was even surprised about some of the things that I said, man, I can command this and control this. If you want to stay in this formation and drop back, I was like, we could bring out, some skills of mine out the toolbox that I used to use.
When we talked to some of these guys like Edrin Cooper and Rashawn Gary, they said that this defense has the chance to be scary and cause nightmares for people. From, your perspective, what do you see, you say the potential in this defense?
Oh, man, I think I agree 100% with them. I wasn't familiar with, obviously the Packers defense, obviously trying to focus on mine, and we kind of just focus on offenses. But just being here, being around the guys, seeing how these guys practice, seeing how each skill set each one of them has, like Luke, man, I really like how he plays. He plays that run well. He gets up vertical really well. I know I can count on him for a bull rush. Just like understanding and learning people's play styles. And I really like how everyone's been practicing. And even some of the interior guys, even though they lost Kenny, you can tell he really helped them guys a lot. I told him, I said, I've never been around a group full of 3 techs that can rush in and play the run like this, and it's a bunch of young guys. So I'm extremely excited about the room, the linebacker core, even the young DB core they got back there. So I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Mike, last week you said watching practice has been like watching your brother play Xbox and not getting your shot. When you look at the approach for week one, would you want any sort of rep count or snap count or situational football, or are you just so hungry that you want it all at once?
I'm so hungry, I want it all at once. But that's why you got coaches, and I always been like that. I never been the type to say I'm finna come back on seconds. I'm finna load the plate all at once. Like I'm finna get everything I need in one meal. So that's just always been me since I was a kid. And as players, all we know, like I said, and I tell people, all I know is go. So once I get an itch of competition, like I see the basketball courts all around the building, I'm like, guys, who wants some? Like, even though we got 3-4 minutes, who want to just shoot some hoops real quick? Like, that's just me. So I know once I get out there, I'm just going to want to go. And that was the first thing, they're just like, well, we got to see how your body is. We got to do that. Because at the same time, I do have to get healthy. I do have to do all those little things to make sure there's a longevity piece in this. It is 18 weeks. There is hopes for playoff run and a long playoff run. So we have to think about that and making sure that everything is good to go.
When did the tightness start this summer? Like during your workouts, or did you feel it during your workouts?
Honestly, it started during camp. When we I did a lift and I felt like during one of my lifts, I felt a tweak, and then I just think standing on it, and I overused it, and that happened. So it was a complete accident. There's multiple MRIs and opinions about how the injury can go. Like I said, I completed my medicine. I've been at treatment every day, and we've been attacking it and being aggressive to get me as healthy and as quick as possible. We're just going to see about that. Right, like I said, right now, we just took the steroid pack that I got from the Cowboys last week, and we started that last week while I was getting treatment there. So we just started that. We finished the pack, and hopefully that works plus treatment to get me back, to 100.
It's been a week since the trade went through. For you to have 80% of that playbook down seems like it's pretty good progress for 1 week.
Yeah.
What's the past 7 days been like for you acclimating and having the meetings, having the conversations with the coaching staff?
It's fun. It's really fun. I think there's also a part of it. It's just like, as when we're young, we love learning things, right? If I taught you how to play a game and you really love the game, you're like, oh man, this game's really fun. And I think just learning the new system and being around a different group of guys, we're learning like who can go here. It's like the chessboard, back to the chessboard. We're learning what piece is what, and I think Hapsy wants to make me a queen again and move me around, and he's trying to say, what do you like, what don't you like? And I'm like, man, I like it all. Like I just load it, whatever, and then we'll talk about what later. And I think that's what he's been doing. I'm just happy they're giving me a chance to learn this much and absorb it, and trusting, what they heard from other coaches who I've been around. And they're putting a lot on my plate, and I take that, and I'm excited about the opportunity.
Do you have a favorite spot, whether that's rushing off the edge or dropping off the ball and linebacker? Do you have a spot where you're really drawn to?
I would say I like rusher because I don't like to. I like in my mind I just like to go, But I think linebackers just a little bit more fun sometimes because when you don't got to deal with the cheap shots and the kind of harassment all the time. You deal with more of the just being smart and intellectual out there on the field. You just deal with concepts and pullers, and you can avoid people a lot more in space, and you just deal with that. I think sometimes you get more fun, but I think on third down, I like to get to the quarterback. I think the people like that more if you get to the quarterback. I don't know why, but I think a guy who can go out there and get 13 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a PBU, that's my type of guy. And but people just like those guys who get to the quarterback, which is nothing fine with it. I like that too, but I really like doing both, and I hope he lets me kind of do that. But I think it's hard when you got Quay and Edrin here, some guys. But I told them if they want to rush them, they can. I don't mind that.
Micah, at what point did it start feeling real that you were Green Bay Packer for someone who thought they'd be in Dallas their entire career?
I think once my agent contacted me, and I know there were some other things involved, but I just think the hometown connection for me hit home for me. And I was just talking to my guy over there a little bit before this, and I just told him, I said, and once I heard a sense of home, I always love home. And I don't want to be too close to home, but I like things that feel like home. And I think I got that feeling here just with the guys in this locker room. I tell you, I've never been in a locker room with guys like this. Like, I came in Tuesday for treatment, and I saw almost every guy in the locker room. I said, this is the first time I've ever seen this. And that just shows how much these guys want to be here, how much they do say it's because there ain't nothing else to do, but there's other things you could do. But they just want to be around each other, hang out. And that's important, having guys that want to come into the building. Like, guys that want to come in the building, they want to be here. I think that's important. And when you're around guys like that, it makes it exciting to come to work.
Micah, we've talked to so many of your teammates about just what you can do when you're on this team and what you can do for them. But it seems like the most excited people might be the back end guys. We talked to Evan Williams and Nate Hobbs just about how much easier their life's going to be with you on the team. What's it feel like to have guys at a totally different position group just excited as heck to have you here?
Well, I'm going to tell them this. I've never not had a pro bar all-pro corner. And so that should mean something. So I'm going to make them a lot of money. That ball's going to come out a whole lot quicker. But that's what it's about, though. It's about feeding off each other, making plays off each other. It's just a team game. You know what I mean? They hold the coverage, 3rd and 5. They play tight coverage. I get a coverage set. There might be a time where they might get cooked, but the ball's going to come out early because I made up for it. That's what it's about, and that's what they should be excited about. You know, I think it's exciting about making plays for each other and, putting each other in position so we can win football games.
We talked football. We talked your back. What about, just your normal life? I was talking to Kenny the other night, and he's glad that they're playing tonight so he can, move his stuff to Dallas. What's this week been like for you? What's your living situation, your family? How's that been?
Yeah, obviously it's tough. My mom's a little upset. Yeah, I told y'all that. She's not excited about the cold. I don't think no one's excited about the cold, but I said we went to Penn State. What are you talking about? We lived in Pennsylvania for 4 years, our whole life. What are we talking about here? But, obviously living out of suitcases, obviously that's not fun. But, everything will be all right. I'm not really worried about it. You got people that take care of that stuff for you anyway, So I think we both kind of got that feeling of just I got some friends with me. They're kind of making this transition a little bit easier, which I'm extremely blessed for. But, obviously the family's struggling. Family misses us. But in the all be all, I think it's all going to be worth it.
About renting each other's houses out to each other.
Nah, I probably should have hit him up to rent his house. But I did reach out to him, though, just on the player-to-player and about some other things that, advice or things like that. So, I appreciate him.
Micah, I know you had your experience of rivalries in college and, of course, in Dallas, too, in the NFC East. But how does it feel, especially with week 1, this matchup being against the Lions and now being part of the rivalries in the NFC North?
Honestly, bro, I felt like Dallas and Detroit already had a rivalry. I already got that rivalry built up. Bro, I'm excited to play them. I never liked Detroit. I never liked them. Even when I was in Dallas, it's just it was just always a heavyweight fight every time they came in. And they kind of got our guys when I was injured last year, or the whole team was injured. And so, I just think it's a funny way how things work. I'm excited to play them. I know they're excited, and it's going to go all 12 to 15 rounds.
What do you think of trick plays?
Trick plays are for people who can't beat you straight up. It's like a guy running around the ring all day trying to jab, but meet me in the middle. You know what I mean? Let's line it up. And I think that's what guys who try to do trick plays do. They can't beat you head up. They don't want to out-physical you. They don't want to be dominant. It's a scared tactic, I guess, but, I can beat you any which way.
Last one for Mike here.
We all want to play doctor around here, epidural injection and all that kind of stuff. From experiencing the steroids and everything, what has that done for you in terms of lessening the pain? What does that actually do for you?
It honestly it just helps it get stronger. That's what all it is. It's a weak joint, right? And if something's weak, it helps it get stronger faster. That's kind of what it did. And obviously, when you mix that in with treatment and technology that we have, it makes things get better a lot faster. So, like I said, let me keep finishing the treatment and see what the coaches. I've been trying to practice hard on the reps that they gave me on the ramp up. See what they're planning for me this game and see how they were going to unleash me.
Thank you, Mike.
There you go. That's Micah Parsons. Boy, I tell you what, there's some interesting stuff there. There really is. There's some interesting stuff there. The fact that he comes in and says he's never seen a locker room full of players when he just comes in for a treatment and a workout on an off day. That's first and foremost. Now, he did kind of joke and say, well, the guy said there's nothing else to do here. Well, maybe that bodes well for the Green Bay Packers. But the fact that he said, man, this is weird. Everybody's here. They're all working out. They're all hungry. He also did say when it comes to the secondary, he's never had a secondary that doesn't have an all-pro in it because they start to get the benefit of his ability, which I thought also was interesting. And then the fact that he feels like he's coming towards the end of treatments when it comes to the back, that it was just something that just kind of moved and tweaked when he was lifting. He feels like it's going to be okay. It's not going to be a hindrance, as long as there's no setbacks. But those three things I took out of that. The big one being when they said, what is it like? What's the difference? And he talked about the atmosphere and and this is what I talked about earlier too. When I wanted to hear from him what it was like walking into Green Bay. I mean, there is a lot of shine and a lot of new and professional to what the Dallas Cowboys have in AT&T Stadium, the practice facilities, and on and on. But more so than anything, there is a level of professionalism that is exuded in Green Bay. And like he said, a lot of young guys that are really, really hungry that all came calling. So we'll get into a little bit more of that and some other stuff coming up. Don't go anywhere. Hey, our friends at Smoke on the Water. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Smoke on the Water. They got a big deal coming up. In case you did not know, I've kind of talked to you about it a little bit, but it is cigars and bourbon at twilight. It's coming up Tuesday night. Cigars and bourbon. They have a dinner. They have got what they call their, I don't know if it's the Flaming Dragon, but it's this big kind of cooker that they bought. They've got the bourbon bar outside. They've got a beautiful, beautiful down below inside. But the date for the cigars and bourbon at twilight is coming up this Tuesday night, 7:00. And it's open to the public. If you want to get some tickets to it, you can. Go ahead and get them. Just find Smoke on the Water BBQ Okachi on Facebook and over on Instagram, or just give them a call, Smoke on the Water Okachi, and you can find their phone number. But they have some spots available for this thing. But it's cigars and bourbon at twilight this coming Tuesday night. So if you don't have anything going on, this might be right up it's up my alley. It might be right up your alley as well. Again, cigars and bourbon at twilight this Tuesday night. Smoke on the Water. They've got a great menu, great focus of cigars, and they got some bourbons to go along with it. And if this is something that you would be involved in, man, get a hold of them. Go to Smoke on the Water, BBQ Okachi. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got a lot more to get to. Don't go anywhere. More after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoke. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Welcome back in. Another great place. Good music, by the way. Like it. Feeling nostalgic for 1985. And the reason we're here for 1985 is because it makes 40 years since Stenny's opened up. Second and National down here at Walker's Point. And they've got their block party, a good crowd in here right now. We are going to be for a great party. We're going to be out west for Oktoberfest coming up the end of the month. Cannot wait for that. Looking forward to that big time. Oktoberfest, the tapping of the golden can, the tapping of the golden keg, doing the show, spending the weekend out there. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to have a great time out there, and looking forward to getting out to Big Boar Barbecue as well, whether it's for the breakfasts that they have lunches, they have dinners, they have catering. If you got a Packer party coming up and you're like, I don't feel like making anything, man, just call them. Just get it all set up, and they can just load it up in pans for you, and you're going to be good to go. And whether it's the pulled pork or the chicken, the ribs, the sauced up ribs, the dry rub ribs, they've got the golden mac and cheese. They have got the coleslaw out there, which I absolutely love, but just so many different things and so many expansions of the menu. And it's family owned. It's a family owned business. Carter and Company, his brothers, they all got together and bought it off of the original owners because they wanted to keep it in a family. And so we support them big time. They're right there in West Salem, out there near La Crosse. That's Big Boar, BOAR, BigBoarBBQ.com. That is BigBoarBBQ.com. Good stuff. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, he should be running in here in a second.
they're putting the final touches outside on the block party. That's going to get underway a little bit later on this afternoon. Today you got Big Al Dorn is going to take the stage at 4, and then Third Coast Blues Collective with special guests coming up later on the night, 8 to 11. Tomorrow, they've got a band called Another One from 1 to 4, and then they've got the Almighty Vinyl from 5 to 8 and Cherry Pie Rockin' the House from 9 to midnight tomorrow. That's going to be a big day tomorrow. That's a big day down here. The weather looks to be spectacular. And then Sunday, they've got Natty Nation noon to 3. Then they've got the Packer Party from 3:30 to 6, where they're going to have a watch party, TVs on both inside, outside. And then after that, you got J.D. Rankin and the Solomon Royals from 7 to 10 tomorrow night. So they've got a block party going on down here to celebrate 40 years in business, STENY'S is. So looking forward to all of that. We hope to touch base with Jerry coming up here momentarily. But let's do this. Because I know he's going to come by. Also, we're going to hear from Josh Jacobs. So let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll talk to Jerry. We're going to hear from Josh Jacobs. We'll take another break, and then we'll get out of here. We got a little bit left to go. Heck yeah. Let's do this. We'll step out. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we're going to hear from our Jerry Stenny, the original Stenny himself, and then we're going to hear from Josh Jacobs of the Green Bay Packers as well. Don't go anywhere. We're not done by any stretch of the imagination. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoked. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back in the Bill Michaels Show. Another great Wisconsin, Milwaukee specifically tradition is Sobelman's Pub and Grill. Been around a long time, 25 plus years, as a matter of fact. And whether it's the big brioche bun burgers or that giant Bloody Mary that's got a meal in it, Sobelman's right there on St. Paul Avenue in Milwaukee, which is a tremendous place to go. Also, they have a location in Waukesha as well on William Street, run across the street from La Station. But both places, absolutely fantastic. Good service, good burgers. And as I mentioned, 2 locations. So now you have some choices in the area. But they have been around. They've been a staple for a long, long time as well. Dave Sobelman's been getting it done. Who knows? Maybe one day we're going to be doing a show over there, too. We'll have to wait and see. But Sobelman's Pub and Grill, as they say, we should be meeting up at Sobelman's. Josh Jacobs, running back for the Green Bay Packers, and he is ready for this coming Sunday as well. You would assume going to be utilized quite a bit. You want to take as much stress as you can off of Jordan Love, but more so than anything, you just want to be able to run the ball, establish that, get a ground game. If you get a lead, close it out. And Josh Jacobs is so integral to the offense from last year. He met with the media. Here's what he had to say.
I think the sky's the limit for this group of guys that we have. We have a lot of pieces. Just trying to get everybody healthy, ready to play. We know it's going to be a long year. Start off with a good opponent. So just trying to come out swinging.
Josh, rewind. In February, you talked about this team needing to go out and get a number 1 receiver, be aggressive. Well, they got Matthew Golden, they got Micah Parsons, they got 2 free agents. How do you feel about how that offseason was?
think we did good. I think it shows, this organization, but not only that, but this team that, we want to win, and we want to win now. So I think the sky's the limit for this group.
That's a big smile.
Yeah.
We asked about the team in general, but how about you? What are your goals personally?
Man, I'm just trying to come out and have a better year than I did last year. Trying to take it day by day, work hard. I'll obviously still lead these guys when in terms of like work ethic and things like that and how to be a pro. But just finish some games, man. I think that's the biggest thing when it come down to, a couple of plays at the end or whatever. Try to clean all of that up to go where we want to go.
So leadership quality and the work ethic, how important is that to you to be that leader in this locker room?
I think it's everything. I think that when you get a group of guys that all think the same, that's a very powerful thing, just in general in life. And I think that when, you got younger guys or guys coming from other teams, things might be done a little different there. And if they see the way that we work on a day-to-day basis, it makes everybody raise their standards. And I think if everybody raise their standards, we're going to be well off.
To me, the lasting memory of you last year is in Philly, things aren't going your way, but you drug like 3 guys to the goal line at I think the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
When you look at that play, does that epitomize who you want to be remembered as a player? And do you want to take this team proverbially kicking and screaming behind you, behind your leadership towards where you want to go?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think regardless of the score or whatever's going on in the game, I always try to put my best foot forward. Whether I fumble or whatever, like that next play, you're going to get the best of me. And I think that for everybody, man, if we all have that mentality, we're going to be good. But it's just a type of willpower that you need to have. I mean, this game is hard, It's not going to be perfect. It's an imperfect game. So if everybody had that type of mentality, just want to do better, want to be better, have a bad play, okay, scratch it off, go make a play. I think we'll be good.
What's the toughest part about unscouted looks, stuff like that in week 1, especially with this team, which has a new defensive coordinator and everything?
Yeah, see, that's the thing about week 1. Like, no matter how good of a camp you had, no matter how, much you've been on a team together and things like that, it's always a little different than first, like, really month of football. You still getting your footing back, learning how to get hit, learning the pace, the condition and everything. It's always a little different than first month of football. And starting off with a good team like that, I think it's going to be a good test to see where we at, but a good test to see, our type of heart and our type of, fight that we're going to have in this team this year.
Speaking of that type of test, when you get swept by a division rival the year before, how much does that stick with the team? How much does that linger?
I mean, personally, like, you think about it a little bit, but it's not something that you go into a game like, okay, we got to win. Like, it's not that, because the team is different. Their team is different. Our team is different. This is a different group of guys. So it's almost like a fresh, slate. But we definitely still want to win. We definitely still have I don't want to say that because it's going to be a pause. But we definitely have a weird feeling about last year, especially in our division. So that's something that's on the back of our mind, but it's not everything that's on our mind.
Do you like kind of getting the division champs right off the bat?
Yeah, I don't like when we be having like a division game and then 1 week off and then a division game, the same opponent like that next week. I don't like how they do that. So to be able to kick it off like this, I think it's cool.
You said you want to see where you guys are at, but you don't just want to see where you're at. You need this win in what promises to be a really tough division game, right?
Yeah, I would say we need every win. Honestly, that's how I feel. I feel like I never want to lose a game. I mean, I never want to lose a rep. But the reality is football it's adversity. You're gonna face it at some point. But I want to come out swinging if possible.
I wanted to ask you this earlier when Jordan first had the injury with his thumb. Is it any different handing off with his right hand to you? Or
Nah, man, he handed. I don't know if y'all seen it. He handed off with his left today. So I think he'd be all right, man. I mean, I'll just tell him give you the ball. It's cool. However you get it to me, I don't care.
You're not the one trying to stop these guys. What do you think of the 1-2 punch they have in the backfield?
Yeah.
And Montgomery.
Now they got some dogs. And they friends of mine. But it ain't gonna be no friends Sunday. But they got some dogs, man. I mean, we gonna have to come ready, and I think we up for the challenge. You good? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do think that the beginning of like last week was a little weird because we had guys starting to, come back and practice. But one thing that I will say that a lot of guys that were out has played a lot of ball here. So it's like after that day or two, like you could tell, like Wicks, Jay Reed making plays all day today. So I think we'll be all right. Just as long as their conditioning stuff is up to par, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, he a dog. I think that speaks volumes to who he is as a person and as a player, and how much this team means to him. Because I play with injury, and it's like one of those things where you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel good during the game. You're really not gonna feel good after the game. But it's just mental. It's one of those things where you got to push through, and the reward is gonna be in the pudding, man. So I'm a firm believer in whatever you put in, you get out. So I have the utmost respect for him.
Without giving away your plan, how tough is it like for a guy like Hutchinson for backs? I know obviously the line's looking at him a lot, but what challenges does he present?
I mean, he's a really good player, man. He's a really good player. He's a disruptor on that defense. He's definitely a guy that you got to look out for and key on. And I look forward to playing against him, man. I think it's gonna be fun.
Zach Tom told us the addition of Aaron Banks. He said on Sunday we're going to like what we see. What are your thoughts on the addition of him this offseason?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a vet in this league, very smart football player. And, just to be able to see him live, I think it's going to be fun. But I like the way he thinks, like the way he approaches the game, the way he comes back to the huddle, and if things don't look right, he's not afraid to speak up and things like that. I think it's going to be interesting to see him in his first live game.
Not just Banks, but the whole offensive line. How comfortable and confident are you that they're going to set you up for success?
I think we're gonna be good, man. I think we really like 7-8 deep. We low-key got a deep offensive line this year. With Jordan Morgan still rotating and things like that. But I just hope the best guys is in when it's time, and I know all of them, will help me have success.
So there you go, Josh Jacobs talking to the media. Very excited. You can hear it in his voice, not only about the offensive line, but about how he believes they've got dogs, which you hear that a lot when it comes to guys that are just football players. We talked about that during the draft, that was Goody's kind of approach. Even Micah Parsons, when he was talking about guys that were all there, everybody was at the facility, guys that are dogs, guys that want to be a part of it, guys that are hungry, guys that, as he said, they're dogs and they're really kind of itching to have success. But he also talked about the depth of the offensive line. And then when he said, it doesn't matter what he hands to me, how he hands it off to me, just give me the ball. And you want to hear that from your running back. You just want somebody that believes that they can get the job done. So that was Josh Jacobs and getting, a little time with him. Flatsmack says, is Jordan Morgan any good? Yeah, he was a guy that was pressing. Here's the thing about the draft choices. Let me say this, because I saw a discussion earlier about first-round draft choices and such. I've always said, yeah, you want a first-round draft choice because you're paying them more money to be successful. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But if a team wins, and they win without a first-round draft choice, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yes, you would like to hit on every first-round draft choice. Every general manager would. I don't care if they're number 1, number 2, number 3. But when you hit on a guy that's a 7th-round draft choice that becomes your starting left tackle, that's a big win. That's a big win. If you hit on a 5th-round draft choice, or if you hit on an unrestricted free agent like a Tramon Williams or a Sam Shields, when you hit on guys like that make the team and the team wins, I don't care if you've got 10 first-round draft choices and they're all sitting. That just means that you have what is seemingly decent quality depth behind the guys that are the better players. Just because they have a 1 in front of their name, first-round draft choice, Jordan Morgan. So what? If he's not good enough to play, I don't care. You don't put him in because he's a number 1. You just say, okay, look, he wasn't as good as we thought he was when we drafted him there. Move on. It doesn't matter. All I want to do is see this team win. Like I said, yes, would you like to see all these draft choices, these young guys hit? Hell yeah, no doubt. But I don't have a problem seeing them fortify a team with a Josh Jacobs, a Xavier McKinney, a Banks, making things bigger and better up front, moving Elton Jenkins to center, bringing in Micah Parsons. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Not every team in the National Football League is built 100% off of their draft choices, and not every draft choice hits. You can be disappointed as a fan, but you don't turn around and go, everything sucks. It doesn't matter. But is Jordan Morgan good? He's good. Has he ascended? No, not the way they wanted him to, because clearly he hasn't been able to knock off Rasheed Walker at the left tackle position. However, They do feel, as Josh Jacobs said, he said, man, we're really abnormally deep on the offensive line. Maybe if they're all things are equal and he's as good as Walker, but Walker's more experienced, maybe that's what you go with. But it doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. As long as they can play. Would you then say diminish the talents and the ability of a Donald Driver because he was a 7th-round draft choice? Or Bart Starr because he was a 15th-round draft choice? Hell no. They're successes. So you take the successes with the failures or with the mediocrity, but all you got to do is win. That's all we care about. I'll tell you this right now. If the Packers go on and win the NFC Championship and they go on to a Super Bowl, nobody's going to give two damns as to whether or not a first-round draft choice is or isn't starting. At that point, all you want to do is see the team win. Unless, of course, that draft choice is needed as depth and backup. Who cares? So because people get bent over that, and it's like, okay, it failed, didn't work, or it hasn't worked out so far the way you wanted it to. It's a couple of years into the mix, big deal. All right, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then come back and wrap things up. Got a full weekend coming up. You got the Brewers and the Pirates in Pittsburgh. I think I said earlier they're at American Family Field. They're not. They're in Pittsburgh. Quinn Priester on the hill. By the way, the Cubs up early on the Nationals right now, 5-0. So the Brewers with a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs right now, looking to get a win tonight. And like I said, looking to get a series win. You want to get that feel-good thing going on again. They're on the road, heading back out, 86 wins on the season. And we'll see what the Brewers can do tonight with Quinn Priester going to the hill. Middle Tennessee, they're coming into Camp Randall, so they're going to be taking on the Badgers this weekend as well. You're looking for the Badgers' defense to stay great, the offense to get a heck of a lot better and show a little bit more dominance, specifically in the trenches in the run game, but also without Billy Edwards Jr., who's not going to be playing in this upcoming contest also. Stay tuned. We're going to close things out down here at Stenny's, 2nd and National Walker's Point. By the way, got to say thanks and a big shout out to our friends at Quick Trip. Not only were they great supporters of the motorcycle ride and helped us out this past weekend, but they've got, whether you're Team Purple or Team Green and Gold, they got a good contest going on with Gatorade right now. You go in, buy some Gatorade, use your Quick Rewards card. You could end up at the big clash over there at US Bank Stadium rooting for the Green Bay Packers with some field-level seats. Not a bad way to go. All compliments of our friends at Quick Trip. And over there at Gatorade as well. Go to quicktrip.com/sweepstakes for all the details. No purchase necessary. And don't forget, Quick Trip, that's a staple, man. If you're going there to get gas, if you're getting bread, milk, eggs, butter, whatever it happens to be, they are always right there for you. And they're always easy in, easy out. And it's always see you next time. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Zone Blitz pregame bash is back. Every Wisconsin home game 2 hours before kickoff at the Blue Moon Bar and Grill. And this year, do I have something special for you? It's a perfect snack for game day or any day. Wenzel's Farm Pro Snack Sticks. Come see me and I'll hand you 16 grams of protein to fuel you through the day. Wenzel's Farm offers that and so much more, crafted in small batches using premium cuts of meat, perfectly seasoned, and naturally hardwood smoked. Check out wenzelsfarm.com. Made by pros for pros.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. They take those values to heart with every person the Pella team works with. It's natural to feel a little apprehensive about having someone visit your home, but take it from me and my wife. The brilliant Pella designers immediately put you at ease with their experience and professionalism. We love that initial visit, along with how easy they made it to envision bringing our project to life. Pella is committed to being the company everyone wants to do business with, and they've certainly lived up to that and more. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You got to hit it, bang it, rock it, put it in the pocket. Hit it, bang it, rock it, put it in the pocket.
Bill Michaels Show. We are live. We're at Stenny's, Second and National, Walker's Point. If you're out west in Lake Country, don't forget Stoley's Hog Alley is a hell of a place to go. Great fish fry coming up tonight. Atmosphere, indoor, outdoor seating. Stoles 109 was a huge success on the motorcycle ride last weekend. Both places owned by great people. Thanks so much to Jeff and Alicia for being a part of our program. Stoley's Hog Alley in Lake Country on Venice Beach Road in Oconomowoc. Stoles 109 on County Road R in Watertown. And 2 great places to stop in and say hello. It has been fun. This has been a blast down here. We have had a lot of people that have come by and said hello. We've had quite a few people that have kind of waved that listens to the program that I've never met before. But a lot of blasts from the past, as a matter of fact. And outside, they're continuing to put up the bike racks and the banners and all the sponsors. But nevertheless, their Stenny's 40th anniversary block party gets underway. Well, the doors are open now. People are streaming in to eat. But more so than anything, the bands get underway 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it's going to be music all throughout the weekend down here. We're going to send you off. You got Brewers baseball coming up tonight. You've got Badger football tomorrow. Packers football, we'll see everybody there at Lambeau Field on Sunday. Don't forget, we're going to be at Burkle's Sports Bar and Grill right behind Stadium View for the Green and Gold postgame show immediately following the Packers and the Lions coming up this weekend. We are so excited for our first show up there at Burkle's. Don't forget, on Thursday night next week, we're going to be live for the Green and Gold postgame show live in Tomahawk, Wisconsin. We're going to be at Castaways Bar and Grill, and we're excited to get back up into the North Woods and hang out a little bit and relax a little bit. But that's going to be a lot of fun. So we got a lot coming up on the docket. But it's been a blast down here today. Anything we missed today, Grant, that I need to make a mention of before we get out of here in the last 30 seconds?
Well, something to just peek at over the weekend, and maybe we'll circle back to next week. Tyler Dunn has a new story out at Go Long, and it's all about Caleb Williams and everything that went wrong last year. And holy cow, this dude seems like a turd. Didn't want to listen to coaches and was disrespectful and demanded this, that, and the other thing. So that's going to be my afternoon. I think a cup of coffee and reading this expose from Tyler Dunn. He's so good at crap like this.
Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, let's touch base with Tyler Dunn next week, especially because Monday Night Football. We'll talk about that on Monday because Monday Night Football is the Vikings and the Bears in Chicago. So excited about that too. That'll do it. Happy anniversary to Stenny. 40 years in business, one hell of an accomplishment.
and they're still going strong. Still going strong. A lot of people are going to be down here over the weekend, and then we will see the rest of you all up in Green Bay at Burkle's after the game between the Packers and Lions coming up on Sunday. Until then, it's time for us to go. Have a go.